Oh,
braces on my legs to help me walk. They almost tore my leg off. It hit me outside, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, wait!"
Hey, isn't anybody healthy anymore?
I'm like, "Really? Come on, guys! I feel like crap, and you're trying to like rip my leg off too."
Mine's just for stupid kidney stone.
Yeah, well, thankfully I'm a lot better now. Kidney stones are no joke. I know a bunch of family and friends deal with that
Okay,
nonsense.
good.
all right. Our stream is live, just so you guys are
Okay.
aware.
Hello, boys and girls.
I just wanted so I could do our sound check. So if you guys want to go out there and check to make sure that you can hear and everything's going okay.
My computer's running real slow. I can't. It's not.
Ron Dog in the house.
Happy,
Wow,
happy,
hell.
joy, joy.
Whoop.
There.
All right, all right, all right. In about 3 minutes, we'll actually kick off the real stream. But looks like our sound checks are good. I got everything pointed to the right mic and the right output. And there goes
Oh,
somebody
Godfrey Daniels.
trying to shut down our computers by bogging down the forge, but it's okay.
Does the Forge run any other games besides D&D?
Yes, they have a shit ton of different game systems. So the thing about the Forge is literally just a hosting service for Foundry. So any game system that Foundry uses, you can do in Forge as well.
Yeah, I'm
So
running. Yeah,
Because I tried to look up catalog and I couldn't find anything.
I'm
yeah,
running.
sorry, go ahead.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna say I'm running two CNC games,
right.
a Sword and Chaos game,
How's
a Lord of the Rings game.
the game system for CNC?
It's pretty basic at the moment.
I did
It's
not kill
all,
him, Ronnie. Sorry, I did not
but
kill him, Ronnie. I just took him off the map.
it's pretty basic because it's only a quick start.
Yeah.
Get some free gens, and it has like a dozen plus
Yeah, I wouldn't
mods
mind playing some Call of
and stuff.
Cthulhu. It's been a long
I've
time.
added a bunch of my own stuff because their developer got got busy with his real life job, so they don't have a developer right now for
Right.
the Foundry part. I keep trying to get them to hire me because I sent my
Does the
resume
Forge
in,
run any niche games?
so I'm waiting to hear.
So that's what I'm saying, Daft, is that the Forge hosts whatever game system is available. So there are, when you go to create a game, it'll ask you what game system you want to use. And there are hundreds and hundreds they've got stuff like some of the old one like RuneQuest. They've got some of those in there, right? I mean, they have all different kinds of game systems, right? So it's literally you when you create your game, you have to pick the game system that it's running under, and that way that's what all the rules and modules and everything that will be associated with your game. So like we do a first edition one here. The fifth edition game is a completely different system, a completely different game engine. So you have to once you create a game, you have to identify the game system, and then that's what it is forever and ever. But let's go ahead and kick this thing off so we don't keep too many people waiting.
Yeah,
Yep.
What is up with nasty thing?
with them.
Me too. Well, I don't hang out with them. They're all in San Diego. I talk to them.
Yeah, they're too local. This text
And we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Hello, everybody. I know you can't see me because we went live right in the middle of an ad break. How about that? So I guess I'll just talk really, really slow until the ad break comes back in 50 seconds. Lando, if you could do me a flavor and do a shout out for Creep for me. Appreciate that as she came in to lurk. Appreciate everybody showing up on a Monday night. We know you could be anywhere else in the world, but you have elected to come here and see this quality entertainment that we affectionately call Shiza Cinema. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean, your host. Welcome to tonight's Agora Quest, episode number 81 of our 1E1 shots. And for those that are new, welcome. If you're an old hand, welcome back. And I just want to note for the record that although we call it 1E1 shots, usually the way this group is, we're really old, we're rickety, and we take like 30 sessions to get through like one level of any dungeon. And then by then we get tired of it and say, fuck it, let's get out of here and go do something else. Which is what happened to me. I was so excited that the party was going down levels in the barrier peaks, and then they just said, no, we're going to keep going down. We're going to keep going down. Oh, look, the exit. Fuck it, we're out of here. And there you have it, our 1E1 shot. But it was fun while it lasted. I think they just got tired of mucking with the Vegapygmies, the hundreds and hundreds of Vegapygmies at a time. But it was fun. So yeah, welcome everybody. We appreciate you hanging out on a Monday night with us. Like I said, I know you could be anywhere, but spending a little bit of time with us is always appreciated. Get your tokens in early if you've got them. Please do so. Trade them in for Nat 1s and Nat 20s. Of course, if you're new, as you watch the stream, any stream on Twitch, really, you earn these free tokens, and then you can trade those tokens in for whatever the content provider has in place. And for ours, we have natural 1s and natural 20s. So you just trade them in. Donate Nat 1s and Nat 20s to your favorite player and or DM. And then we can use those to supplant any dice roll in the game that we desire. So if somebody misses a hit but they got a Nat 20 on hand, they could then take that Nat 20 and make it a hit. So yeah, so get them in early. Also, if you really want to help the stream, support the stream as well as your favorite player, for every 100 bits that you cheer, you can grant a +1 to your favorite player or humble DM of choice. And those carry over from stream to stream. The Nat 1s and Nat 20s, they're usually for just this stream or the stream that they're granted. Depending, there are situations where I allow them to carry over, but for the most part, they're only for that particular stream. So I do encourage you to get all those in early. So, but yeah, if you want to cheer bits, man, if you're going to be willing to spend your coin to help support the stream as well as give the players a little bit of aid throughout the campaign, then we allow those to carry over. And of course, don't forget, always looking for subscribers. Every dime that you guys put into this stream, we put right back into it because it is pretty much a zero-sum game. We make a little bit here and we put it all back into our hosting services, and I use it to buy like maps and content and stuff like that, which, by the way, depending upon how things go tonight, I did want to give a shout out to 2 Minute Tabletop Maps for providing a map that we may or may not be using tonight. It really depends on the players, right? This is their campaign. I've been trying to tell them that. They are not force-fed. I give them opportunities and stuff. It's me as the DM's responsibility to provide them something no matter where they go. But if they don't go where they need to go tonight, I got nothing. So we're just going to sit here and talk about football. So
Or I'm out of here. Man. Talk to you later.
But yeah, before we get too far, like I said, if you want to help support the stream and you want to cheer for every 100 bits, you give a +1. Or a +1, or I should say 1 point. Doesn't necessarily have to be used as a plus. The player can have these points accumulated that they could then add or subtract their dice rolls as necessary, depending upon what they need, whether it's high or low. So as of right now, I as a DM have a +1 available. Deglin, you still have a +1 available. Baron, you have a +5 and a +4 available. Ronnie, you're SOL, sir. You got nothing but golden acorns. Varys, you got a +2 available, and Zadkiel still has a +5 available. The last session, as I explained, our party was pretty much just getting out of the barrier peaks. They have been investigating this strange alien landscape, and they discovered it was some ship of some kind that had come from outer space and crashed into the world millennia ago. And inside were strange, horrendous creatures, and they discovered that there was some sort of a fungus or something going around that was killing things and turning them into these vegapygmies, plant-like creatures. And so the party did some investigating, got themselves a little bit of treasure, and then hightailed it out of there. They returned to Gorna, which is the seat of power for the Duke Owen III of Geoff. And there they explained what was going on, and the Duke rewarded them handsomely, including the granting of lands as well as coin. And so the party has land that they can take to create whatever estate that they want, or they can just keep that deed until such a time as they want to come build upon that land, or they could turn around and sell that deeded property to somebody who is willing to purchase it. But the party, I know, has been eager for a long time to get to the free city of Greyhawk. In fact, for those that have been following along for a while now, you know that the party was in the dwarven city of Gryrax, where they uncovered a night hag was visiting a princess who was from a different country, but she was visiting the Ulek states in order to form stronger alliances, provide naval capabilities for the dwarves, and the dwarves in turn would provide precious metals and mining and metals and stuff like that for the Keeland in order to build whatever they needed to build. But anyway, they solved that mystery, they saved that area, and then they all decided that they wanted to head out of town and go to the free city of Greyhawk. And therein they were en route to the free city of Greyhawk when they saw the shining mansion upon a hill that was caught fire, and they went and they investigated and got sucked into a parallel dimension. And there they spent however long they spent trying to get out of said parallel dimension. And when they got out, they were unceremoniously deposited right there outside the barrier peaks, where they then began investigating the strange occurrences that I just discussed. So now I know that the party, having been settled and having time to heal, time to change their spells as necessary, which, before I go too much further, as a side note, Baron, your spell selection, I don't know what happened, but all of your spells are essentially gone from your character sheet. I don't know. No, I don't know what happened, but you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells, and that's it. So if you would, in Discord, if you would send me a private message, or if you just want to post it in the game chat, just type out all your, you don't have to do the spell descriptions, but the name of your spell, and I will make sure they get re-added Um,
Interesting enough. I'm looking at it right now,
yep.
and they all appear to be there, ready.
Well, no, there's spells there, but you've only got 7 spells. And what I'm saying is, when you go to look at when you go to like add a spell or something like that, I don't know what the deal is, but you should have like a lot more spells than these 7. Granted, you might only be able to cast 7 spells. I don't know what your spell detail is. Looks to
Yeah,
me like you should be able to cast 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. So you should have 7, 10, 12. You should have at least 13 spells. And I thought you had a whole bunch of spells, but for some reason,
yeah.
you don't.
I was looking at my spell book, going, "Wait a minute."
Yep. So I'll have to find the old character sheet, find out what the spells were, but we need to make sure that after tonight, we need to work to get your spell book up to snuff for a 9th level wizard or magic
I was hoping
user.
to find some spell books in the.
Yeah, unfortunately there weren't any there, but you know that's definitely on the list of to do for whatever going on, right? But anyway, I just want to make sure because I know you had more than, even though you didn't have a whole bunch of spells, I'm pretty sure you had more than 7. So I just want to make sure that we get all your spells in there, and then we can make sure your character sheet's up to date. So anyway, so the other thing I wanted to mention, I saw most of you went in and you applied your experience. If you have not gone into the Forge yet and you have not applied your experience, please do so, so we can make sure that everybody is up to date. I think everybody, I'm going to check, I think Zadkiel might be the only one that hasn't.
You didn't give Burley any experience.
Yeah, well, Burley doesn't get experience. Sorry. So,
All might have been applied.
yep, I am going to, I just applied Zadkiel's because he never applied his either. So, yep, that's all the experience that he got. So he is good to go. What level is he? Is he 7th? Nope, 8th level paladin. 9th level paladin is when they start getting spells, right? Just want to make sure that. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has any spells here, but okay. Anyway, when last we left, the party had left the Duke. You guys had gone to essentially decide what you wanted to do, right? Because the issue became that Zadkiel had wanted to stay in Jeff to establish a small shrine dedicated to St. Cuthbert, and he was going to use his land grant to have this small area where he could start building a holy place, a Mecca, if you will, to St. Cuthbert, because there is not a lot of St. Cuthbert worshippers and church here in the Western lands. Although he does have a presence here in Jeff.
I think he's the only lawful neutral deity in the lexicon.
Yeah, well, he can. Yeah, he can actually do lawful. His worshippers are usually lawful good or a lawful neutral. And in this case, our paladin is a lawful good follower of St. Cuthbert. So he wanted to sort of stay here, but I know that the rest of the party has been wanting to go to the free city of Greyhawk. So without Zadkiel here, it's unfortunate that I am not going to have him hold up the party going wherever the party wants to go just for his character. We can kind of retcon some things for him, like he got a small took some of his money and started building a small have a small fort built while he's gone, and he'll have to come back every few months or whatever it is in order to sort of take a look at it to make sure that it's going correctly. Or he may just decide that he's going to go to with you guys and see if he can take his money and build his stuff there. But as of right now, all of you still have your deeds to your land. Oh yeah, he's gonna mow down trees everywhere to build this fort on. So, but anyway, so that is where we were picking up tonight's story, as our party now has to sort of decide what do they want to do. Are they going to stay here in the land of Geoff, or are they going to go to the much anticipated free city of Greyhawk, where the Duke of Geoff has offered to provide teleportation services free of charge for your group as well as your mounts to send you to the free city should you guys so desire. And everybody, we did the coin splitting up and all that, right? We got all the treasure kind of sorted out and whatnot.
Not all of it. There was a bunch of stuff that we didn't get to.
Okay.
It's in the chat. It was in the chat. I can resubmit it.
Yeah.
No, is it under the treasure for the last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you each got 5,000 gold from the Duke, as well as the paper writ.
Yeah, there was also the items that didn't get a value.
Yeah, so you split the gold, which
Right.
we got like 9,568 apiece.
Right.
That's in the loot channel. And
Okay.
then there's a whole bunch of other stuff in the loot channel that.
Yeah, especially like the sci-fi stuff. We have no way of determining how to put a value on that.
Yeah, so there isn't going to be value for the sci-fi weapons and stuff like that. There is going to be no coinage or experience or anything like that applied for those.
Okay. But there was like a necklace that had garnets in it, but there was no gold associated with it. There was crystal decanter with.
Yep. All right. So. Yep. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do that right now. All right. So the total identified as of now is 57,000, right? So, but that doesn't include the new stuff. All right. So the necklace with the acorn-shaped brown and red garnets is a 5,000 gold piece necklace. The 26 metallic coins, you can fetch if you wanted to sell them to a collector. A good collector would give you 100 gold for each coin because it's otherworldly, apparently. The bag of coin, I think that was. Hang on, let me look real quick. I have my notes here. Hang on.
Bag that didn't never determine how many coins were in it.
Yep. All right. So it was a 800 silver and 300 gold in that bag. I knew I had that down there.
Is there anybody in this town that's selling old spell books?
Selling old spell books? No.
Didn't think so.
Yeah. The silver spacesuits, you could probably get 5 gold apiece, even though they're like strange and otherworldly. People, they're not useful to people, right? But maybe as a novelty item, you could get 5 gold apiece for that. MREs, nothing. The iPad-like device, nothing, because you don't get any experience or gold for that anyway. The metallic box with buttons on it, that was the translator.
Oh, okay.
2 silver uniforms, again, you can get 5 gold for those. The 7 to 8 ounces, the crystal decanter with amber liquid, and with the matching goblets. So the whole set was worth 5,000 gold because the liquid itself is a very potent alcohol. Silvered mirror with gold filigree rim, 10 gold pieces for that. The wooden case with 8 sets of silverware would fetch 500 gold for that. Yeah, so the metal tube harness, it's an anti-grav device. Again, it's a sci-fi device, so it's not going to be able to give you.
So that's,
Yep.
I think that was all of it.
Yep.
Other than the sci-fi, plus there's some potions that we found.
Yeah.
And some scrolls. So the scrolls to have spell. They were all magic spells.
Yep. All right, so we are going to do that next. 3 scrolls with 1/3, 1/4, 1/5 level. All right, so if you would, let me go ahead here, and we'll do this now. And again, I want to be able to do this before we kind of move on. Baron, if you would be so kind as to roll a dice for me. Give me just a second. Just a second. I'll tell you what I need you to roll.
And I have to find a place. Oh, there it is, down there.
Yep. You're probably going to have to change what the number is. So let's say if you click on a die 8 and it says /R1D8, you're going to have to change that 8 to a different number because we're going to randomly roll your spells here for you. Okay. So for the 3rd level, just give me roll a die 24. So if you just click on any one of those dice and change the number from 1D whatever to 1D 24, and then click roll.
Okay, so it would be 1D24.
Yep, and then just hit the roll button. Yep. There we go. Oh, a 24.
Cool.
You have a 3rd level spell of water breathing.
Now, is this a scroll?
This is a scroll, but you can transcribe that into your spell book, but you'll have to get the funds in order to make the ink to do that, right? So it's 100 gold pieces per level of spell. So in order to transfer a 3rd level spell into your scroll book, it'll cost you 300 gold, which you guys got a shit ton of gold right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
can I buy the stuff that I need?
Yeah. All you would have to do is deduct the 300 gold from your character sheet once we get all said and done and give you guys your gold and whatnot. But for right now, let's just go ahead and roll your scrolls, and then we can worry about the cost of that later. All right, so go ahead and give me another 1 die 24, please.
Okay, coming up.
A 7. I can see this. You have a scroll of fear.
Was that a 3rd level spell as well?
That's a 4th level spell. And then if you could be so kind as to give me one more 1D24.
1D24. Yeah. Scribbling us all down on hard copy.
Yeah, that's fine. Put it on hard copy, then we can transfer it over to your sheet later.
Okay, let's see. Okay, RD8. And the number is 14.
You have a scroll of magic jar. It's a 5th level spell.
Magic jar, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to make any friends with that.
Fuck somebody's soul right out. Hey, Corvus, man, appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the resub, man.
Okay, so I'm looking at 1,200 gold pieces worth of materials to transfer these into my spell book.
Yep. So, all right. So that means give me a total then for all of the treasure that you guys had. It was a total of basically, yeah, I saw that, but it's not added together. It's like 2 separates. So, all right, 11. So a total of 11,906 gold that you guys got. Now, that means I am going to award everybody. I'm just going to round it to 12,000. So what I am going to do is I am going to, oops, wrong game. Looking at the wrong. I'm looking at the player's view. I am going to go here and I'm going to clear this, and I am going to add.
A magical turkey sandwich.
Nope. All right. Oh, it did it. Damn it. All right. Hang on a second. All right. Let me do.
Looks like I picked up another 2,400.
Yeah, that was. But you're gonna get more than that. So hang on just a second.
I'm not doing anything.
All right. So.
Don't know how to do anything on this.
Yeah. 4. All right. So let's try this again. All right.
I feel like a poor person who found an extra $300 in his ATM, so he's just going to go snag it right off the bat.
There you go. All right. So I have just awarded everybody their experience. So please go apply that experience to your character, so we can get that all taken care of. I will take care of Zadkiel's.
Okay, I can do this.
Essentially, everybody should have a total of 12,000 to apply.
Okay, details. Okay, unapplied 12,000.
Yep. So just hit apply. There you go. All right.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yep. Has anybody not applied their experience yet? So everybody should be. I know, Varys, you're getting close to 11. Everybody else is still stuck at like 5th level. So that's all right. Okay. So that being said,
Closing in on 10th level.
there you go. So there we have it. We have finished up. Everybody should now, if you have not already, you need to add 12,000 gold to your character sheet, so that you know.
Oh, I added all the other old stuff already. Now I just need to add the new stuff.
Yeah. So you just need to have whatever your.
12,000 gold, huh?
Yep. Why is it not letting me? It's not letting me add any of the gold to Zadkiel.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it on my character sheet here under gold.
Why is it not letting us do it, guys? Can we know why?
Yeah.
Ronnie's never dealt with filthy lucre, so he has no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason on the character sheet, it's not letting me add any of the gold or anything like that.
I hit my hold on my PDF sheet.
Yeah, yeah, and that's fine. Because
it'll make me encumbered.
Yeah, I think there's a setting I could go in and turn off the encumbrance, but that's fine. Yeah, but just make sure you note somewhere that you've got 12,000 gold to plus. Does not include the 5,000 you already got from the Duke? Oh, does it?
Yeah,
Is that with it? Okay.
Yeah, I got
Perfect.
I can put it all in.
All right, perfect.
Redivide it.
All right, perfect. All right, so everybody has 12,000 gold, even from the treasure and all that stuff. Baron, if you want to take that 12,000 and minus your 1,200 or whatever it was for your spells, you can do that, and then go ahead and associate that with your so we can put those spells. And if you would like, I can drop those spells right onto your character sheet right now. We go That is a magic user. So we're going to go here. Nope, we don't want to do it as a scroll. We just want to do it as a spell. Poof. Why is this not letting me? Like not letting me do
Fear
anything.
not learned.
Yeah, it says not learn. There we go. Okay. All right, now it is learned.
By any chance, do you have a fifth level spell that I could? Well, I guess a fifth level spell that I could use outside of a spaceship.
No. I don't know what you
Okay.
mean, but
Pass wall did not work on with metal corridors.
yeah, yeah. Uh, let's see. What was you had fear? You had oh god, I can't remember the three spells now.
You know
Fear,
the
water
benefit.
breathing, and magic jar.
That's right. Water
I was gonna
breathing.
say the benefit of going to City of Greyhawk, the mage guild for you.
Mm-hmm.
The public mage guild. You should be able to get in and buy and train some spells.
Oh, all right.
For
There's
you.
water breathing, and we got your fear. And what was the other one again?
Um, let's see, that would be magic jar.
Yes. Magic Mar or
Yeah.
Magic Jar.
Remind me not to use that with my friends.
Okie doke. Don't use it with your friends. There, you feel consider yourself reminded.
Okay, according to the sheet, okay, it says that I have a 65% chance of learning any spell,
Yep.
and I can have a maximum of 11
Yep.
spells per level.
Per level. Yep. And honestly, I've never been one to have people roll to see if they know spells. I just say the first 11 that you get, boom, those are the ones you got. You don't even have to worry about rolling.
Okay, so okay, so I basically pick a spell and I say, okay, this is going to my 11.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay, I can do that. Pick a spell.
All right. So that being said, as you guys are sort of lounging around the next day, trying to decide, are we going to Greyhawk or are we going to remain here in Geoff and see what may come about here? Totally up
Well,
to you guys.
DM,
What you
I
want?
am interested in that Canyon of the Damned or the Stone Bounded Sky that are both close to town where we're at.
Right.
That sounds like a place that I'd actually be able to find a spell book.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for finding more treasure, but I got some, so, I'm okay with maybe going to Greyhawk and getting some items or something.
Oh,
All right. That's yep.
speaking of
Sorry.
items,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I have those old books that I put through into my backpack.
Yep.
Okay, anything valuable on those?
Yes. We would estimate those at 200 gold apiece.
Ooh, okay, we can add that in then.
Yep. And the reason I know that you guys were going to Greyhawk is because it's a big city, it's a metropolitan, it's a mecca for adventurers from all over the place. It has one of the top mages guilds in the region. It is a seat of power for Greyhawk, and when it comes to Jaskar, just north as well as east of the Free City is major dwarfs and mining communities. And that being said, for Rani, to the west of the Free City is a large forest called the Gnarly Forest, and it's rumored that they have druid rings literally just outside the city. So there literally is something for everybody in the Free City. So that's why you guys were going there in the first place.
Even the bear?
The bear can go too.
There's a place
Oh no,
for him
you were
to
just
do that,
saying there's
too.
Maybe there's a lady bear there.
There's where do bears poop in the woods? There's woods there. I'm assuming that there's lady bears there as well. Yep.
Kid in my bear hunting club shot a 525 pounder on Saturday.
Nice. So then again,
That's a lot of bear.
that's a lot of bear. Again, this is this was the really the big decision was, were you guys going to stay here to allow so that Zadkiel was going to try to establish his fort or his college or his place of refuge for people here, or we were going to go to the Free City. So it was really just trying to decide what we were going to do there.
Well, it's going to take me a little while to transcribe those spells.
Yep. So if we're going to
I
travel...
have a feeling I'm staying with Zadkiel.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is he's not here right now, so you guys need to tell me what we're going to do. I have no problem with bringing him there, and then if he has something that he wants to discuss, we can do that offline and after the fact. But I just want to get you guys moving to where you want to go. So
I'd really like to get those spells in spell book before I go on to another adventure.
yeah, it's it's like 1 hour or something like that to transcribe it, I think.
I don't have that handy.
Yeah, so it's roughly an hour. Even if we went an hour per level, right? So you're talking 3, 8. So 1 day, you guys could spend 1 day here and then get your spells transcribed, which you guys have already been here a day, so we can consider your spells transcribed if you want. I'm not gonna have to role play through all. We don't have to role play through all of that.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, like I said, I'm assuming that we're going to the Free City, but I am not shoehorning anybody. I just need to know what you guys really want to do. That's been sort of the eye of the prize since you guys left Gryrax months ago.
Yeah, I'm keeping my rent and may come back at some point and or cashing in or
Right.
sell it to the paladin.
There is all kinds of chance for adventure here if you guys ever want to come back. You know that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So
Well, I
wanna
turned
hear
in
about
my
it.
writ for property is share with mining guild.
That's right. I remember that.
I'm
Yep.
supposed to roll every couple of months.
Yeah.
So
Once a quarter.
coming back. Yep.
On the 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th month, you roll for profit or loss.
Then come back. Maybe if I'm making a lot of money, put more money into it.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. So that being said, you guys, I'm assuming, and stop me if I go too far, I'm assuming that we're going to the Free City. Yeah. As
Yeah,
you
we
guys
need to-
as you guys meet with the Duke's head of his or his trusted advisor, who is a senior mage in the city, as he leads you guys through the halls, down several flights of stairs, and just when you guys think you're at the bottom, you go just a little bit further, deep into the bedrock beneath the keep that is the Duke's palace here in the city of Gorna. Eventually, he leads you to a chamber that's actually sort of high. It's all stone all around, worked stone. The floor itself is smooth, polished marble, and you can see deeply cut ruins in the floor that form a large circle, large enough that you guys are able to have your steeds brought as well through the stables. They are able to be brought down below the castle and into these lower chambers where they now stand waiting whatever it is that is coming. Now, you can't all go at once. It doesn't fit all 5 horses and all. By the way, Siltal is not with you. Siltal has departed. He has elected to go do his thing here in Gorna. He doesn't want to leave the region, so he is here. Should you ever come back, you have a colleague and a friend. But the
Taste the magic in this room.
yes, as you're standing there and you look, you realize that it is some sort of a teleportation circle, Baron. One of intricate design, and literally you can feel the energy in the air as the hairs on your arms sort of prickle with electricity as the Duke's advisor sort of waves his hand and invites you all to stand within the confines of the circle as he and another mage of the guild begin the incantation.
Okay, but we can't all go at once because of our horses.
Correct. He's just sending you guys, and then the horses will come next. And so you all, Burly Bear begins to get nervous, and he starts pawing at the earth as around you guys the air begins to sparkle as if there's diamonds or little fireflies sort of flashing all around you guys. Eventually there's so many of them that they almost form a sheen on your skin. You can see this wall of light that suddenly erupts from the floor that's confined by the circle itself, catching you all in its wave of energy as this sort of vertigo washes over each one of you. There's a flash of light, and the next thing you know, you're almost on your knees vomiting in a completely different location. As you guys find yourselves standing on a plain, looking over this river behind you that flows lazily from the north down to the south. To the north as well, you can see the beginnings of these low, weather-worn mountains. It's not as sharp as the peaks that you guys had seen while you were in the Barrier Peaks and in the Crystal Mist region of the country of Geoff. It's really not even as, or it's not even as high as the mountains when you guys were going up just north of Gryrax when you were fighting the cult members as well as the Night Hag way back, which seems like a lifetime ago. But here you sort of find yourselves standing on the side of this road, not even 5 minutes later, as you guys are sort of still getting your bearings to kind of see what's going on, there's another flash of light and a scream of a horse as you look over, and all of your horses, as promised, have been sent along with you. To your east, about a half a mile to a mile away along the road, you can see great walls towering some 30 feet in the air. You can see a throng of people moving in and out of one of the many gates. As you see the flags flying, the flags themselves that fly are sort of black with this a castle sort of centered over the top of it, and you easily recognize it as the city of Greyhawk's banner. It is late in the afternoon, because although you guys went in the mid-morning right before lunch, you realize that it is much later as you have come this far east, and the sun is beginning to make its trek over the western sky. As you stand on the road, you can see there's, although the city proper completely encased by walls, there is mini city on the outside as well. There is a stench coming up from the southeast, as you can see even from here, a large, huge pile of garbage sort of bordering the south wall or the southeastern wall from where you guys stand.
Nasty.
Oops.
Well, mount up and let's get inside and wait for the smell.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is where you guys find yourselves along this road. As I said, back to the west behind you. It's off the map, but you can see up north here there is the Sullentan River that actually flows, and it comes down behind you this way. But it's off the map from where you can see. However, you can see that there is a gate leading right in there. The walls themselves, as I said, are about 30 feet tall, give or take. The the gate here that you're looking at, although it's not quite as tall as the walls, it's still relatively large. Probably, I don't know, 12, 13 feet tall in a set of double gates made of a mixture of metal and wood. Each one of the gates themselves are about 8 foot wide, so a total of about 16 foot wide, maybe 12, 13 feet tall. There are towers flanking either side, as well as the parapets going across. And even from here, as far as you guys are away, you can see the movement of guards as they walk up and down the battlements that make up the exterior wall of the free city. Mounting your horses, you begin to move your way through this region, I guess, this sort of this outskirts, if you want to call that, the outskirts of town. It doesn't take you guys too long, maybe 10 minutes of slow riding. Again, most of these out here are some shops, but they look like combination of shops, living spaces. But you approach the gate, and even though this appears to be a small type of a gate, you guys see that it still is fairly impressive. You thought the dwarves' construction of their city was impressive, and of course you should, because it's dwarf construction. But the free city itself is by far one of the most impressive structures that you've ever seen in your lives. As you approach, the guards stop you where you are, and they look at you up and down. Good day, travelers. What brings you to the free city this day?
Recreation.
Recreation.
Rest,
A search for knowledge.
drinks.
Aye.
Confined.
Well, before you are allowed to enter into the city, let me be the first of all welcome you. Second of all, your swords, though I can see you are probably adept at using such devices, they are to remain within their sheaths and scabbards at all times. There is a tax for sellswords such as yourself. So, first of all, please state your name for the record, as he looks at you, Baron.
Baron Feldman.
Baron Feldman. And country of origin.
You gotta help me with that one.
Okay. As he jots that down. Purpose of your purpose of your visit to the free city.
To research magic.
So you are a dabbler of the arcane arts, are you then, sir?
More than a dabbler, but yes.
I should inform you that unsolicited use of magic within the city walls is strictly forbidden and punishable by severe fines and or imprisonment for an extended period. So please do not
I shall
please,
keep
please,
the spells to myself.
that is better put than I could, sir. Thank you. As he sort of turns his head and looks at Burly Bear. Name?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really funny.
Country of origin?
I let him know Burley is from whatever those woods were outside that other town.
Yep. Okay. As he sort of takes it down, he looks over and I assume, sir, that this beast of the wild is associated with you, as he looks at you, Ronnie.
Oh, yeah. Burley and I go way back.
May I have your name, please, for the record, sir?
Well, they call me Ronnie Noblight when I'm near the Great Oak.
Very well, Mr. Noblight. What is the stated purpose of your visit to the Free City today?
Acorns and aquaculture.
Acorns and aqua. So I might recommend that if you're seeking something in the scientific nature, that you go to Clerksburg, where you will find the great library of the city, where all things of any knowledge of any type, and should you need sage advice as well. Thank you. And may I add, while pets are most welcome, he is slightly larger than most pets. I would encourage you to keep your friend close.
He's an emotional support bear.
As he looks,
yes.
As he looks to Deglin, repeats the question. Name for the record, sir.
Deglin of the priesthood for Jeskar.
Deglin of Jeskar. And the purpose of your visit to the Free City, sir?
Recreation.
Recreation. Might I recommend there are many good places of recreation here within the city. If you wish to both gamble and or partake in events, if you are looking for more of the softer side of recreation, sort of gives you kind of a half look nod. Might I recommend the Silver Garter, which is just down the street once you get past the Whistling Fish. Okay, and he looks to Varys. Sir Elf, name, please.
I'm Harris. Milanoton.
Varys Melvin. And where is it that you hail from, sir? Selene. We do not get many traveling outside the borders of Selene. You are truly an anomaly. And the purpose of your business here?
Recreation and entertainment.
Recreation. So, like your friend Jeskar here, I recommend perhaps the Silver Garter or perhaps the Weald of Gold Gambling House, should you find your way to that side of town. Though by looking at each of you, I doubt it. And then, of course, he takes the same details. Now, if you will be so kind as to pay your sellsword tax, 3 gold pieces per person, you are free to be on your way.
All right, damn. I pull out one of my acorns and hand him an acorn, say, this should cover the whole party.
As he looks at it and he goes, while I understand the sentiment, and you can tell that he has probably dealt with many, many folks just like Ronnie, or at least similar. Never just like, right, but at least similar to Ronnie. As he sort of looks at it, he goes, my friend, I am sure that you could probably find much better uses than to give this fine specimen of an acorn as a tax to the oppressors within this city. So I would much prefer to have coinage than something so fine as what you present to me here.
I pay his and mine out of the bagel.
All right. So everybody make sure you take out 3 gold off your list as they finish, and you guys are allowed to move to the interior of the city. As soon as you step inside, it seems like the temperature drops slightly as the shadows become a little bit deeper and a little heavier. It's a little shadowier in here, so it forms it to be a little bit cooler. But there's no breeze, so it is a little, even though it's cooler, it's a little bit sort of heavy air and stifling. The smoke from the various chimneys throughout the place, because it is winter time, by the way, so the temperatures are rather chilly. The smoke that comes up from the various chimneys in the city has nowhere to go until it gets up above the walls, so a lot of the soot sort of carries back down and has a small thin layer across several of the buildings as you guys enter into the city proper. Moving.
Smell of garbage.
It's really not bad. When you were outside, you had sort of this marshy smell and a garbage smell because the garbage was along. If you look way down, it was actually like,
Part of the marsh.
yeah, it's like way down on this side of the walls and stuff. But there's just this huge pile of garbage, and it just had that nasty smell to it. Let me see. I think, is that the right spot? I might have looked at the wrong spot. Give me a sec. Yeah, that was right. That was good. So anyway, so as you guys enter in, you find yourself on we actually have street names. We can do this.
I'm thinking to go get my,
Where did we enter?
You entered.
thinking to pull up my city of Greyhawk.
Okay.
Yep. So you guys find yourself on Marsh Street as you come in to the city. I just put this. I have this, and I do want to, for those that know, Dennis Trachal, he has Malden's Greyhawk. He has a fantastic site, and he actually made this map, and he did all of the streets and everything like that. So I've known Dennis for like years, not personally, but we actually connected way back. I think it was in the early 2000s when I first sort of figured out or realized who he was or knew who he was. And so he, like I said, he has an amazing website. And yeah, yep. Yeah, he's got a great site. He's got a lot of great stuff. So anyway, so these are his maps of his city, and he actually put the streets on here and a lot of the places too. So that's kind of where I got a lot of this stuff from. So if you guys have never seen Dennis, or if you're interested in Greyhawk, go check out Dennis's site. Can't go wrong. However, as you guys move along Marsh Street, again, the soldiers welcome you to the foreign quarter, as this is the section of town literally known for having a conglomerate of people from all over the Flannis. And so you move along Marsh Street looking, I'm assuming, for a place to stay.
Something not cheap, but not expensive.
Yep. So as you guys are moving along, you see that most of the buildings are worn. They're partial stone and wood thatch type roofs. Some of them have wooden slats and stuff like that to form the roofs. But as you move along, the road you're on suddenly branches into a 4-way crossroad that kind of forms like an elongated X. And before we get too much further, I want to first explain also that a lot of the Free City stuff that we're going to be doing is theater of the mind. So while I do have encounter maps and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing is going to have to be in your head, right? So I don't have like the high-res maps of the entire adventures and everything. like some of the other ones I do. I do have battle maps for specific things like encounters, combats, and things like that, which is what they're used for. So a lot of our time is going to be spent on these city maps and or other similar maps like this, just so you guys are aware. So if I'm describing something and you can't quite picture it, and you would like to know a little more detail, we can just let me know before I get too far into it. Cool. So we're going back old school theater of the mind. So anyway, the road that you're on branches into this four-way intersection, kind of like an elongated X. Um, as you've seen ever since you came in here, the streets are lined with various stores and shops, etc. But as you come in, your eyes are immediately drawn to this one building that sort of sits on the corner of that intersection, and it sort of occupies the entire triangular parcel of land where these intersections sort of meet. You can see that a freshly painted sign in the shape of a fat fish bears the name of the establishment, called the Whistling Fish, and in small letters under it says Potentate of Potations, whatever that is. The inn itself is built of half timber construction, kind of like I've described, kind of like wood stone kind of mix. But what makes it unique from the other buildings around it is its size. From the position of the inn's windows, the building looks like it's two-story, but the structure looks way too tall to be an average two-story inn. The roof itself is made of wood shakes, and it literally towers above the other buildings in the neighborhood. And even the front door itself is like unusually tall, like probably close to, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet tall compared to the other doors in this place. And I actually want to provide us with the very first. Where are we? Our very first. Come on. There we go. We're going to become observers. That is what it looks like, players. As you guys are walking by, you can see the other structures around it are they're tall, right? But this one is like really tall. And as I said, you can see the sign hanging outside that says the Whistling Fish, Potentate of Potations. But just look how tall this door doesn't do it justice. Look at the horses lined up along, and now you can see how tall the door is compared to the horses standing there. And just look how tall this thing is. It's huge. And then of course it does have an attached barn. Something a little interesting, you could see that there's goats kind of chewing on the grasses and stuff that are growing up on there. But that's kind of where you guys find yourselves standing as you're looking for a place to stay. This looks as good as any other of the places that you pass. And in fact, it is the first inn of any kind that you guys have seen since entering in the gates of the city itself.
Is this in giant size?
Well, I don't know about giant size, but yeah, probably. I mean, the door itself is maybe 10 feet tall, so yeah, so it's definitely made for a large person. So interestingly, don't know. But the other thing is you can see through the windows. You could see normal folks coming in and out of the door. You could see through the windows normal folks inside. So it doesn't look like there's giants in there, but the building itself is just built for somebody that's overtly large.
Is this something we want to do, guys? Do we want to get a room here or look at other places? I suggest if we're going to get a room here that we probably go check the horses into the barn first.
Well, I mean, somebody can go in and see if they got, you know, see what was on the inside, and you know.
Oh,
Do you
maybe
guys want
yeah.
Ronnie to go in there?
Well,
Mm,
Ronnie would just like want to plant a tree, right? So
Yeah.
I don't.
Here's an acorn. When they need 4 rooms, here's an acorn.
So yeah, I guess I don't think we should leave the horses. In it, though.
Well, I mean, somebody. I'll tell you what. I'll go in, and
Yeah,
y'all
we
can
we
stay
trust
out
your
here, and
we
I'll
trust your
go
judgment.
in, ask a couple questions, take a look around, and come right back.
Okie dokie.
I,
You
Sure.
know this
While
place,
he's
right?
doing that, DM, I will just look at all of those horses and see if any of them are missing out on care and if I might be able to spot something that would make their lives better.
Okay, so the horses themselves look like they're relatively well cared for. These horses on the outside don't appear to be under the care of the inn itself. These appear to be people sort of rode up, wanted to stop in, get something to eat, so they tied up outside. There's an actual stables on the other side over here with the big open barn door you can see on the right of the picture. So that's an actual barn, but there's actually horses lined up around the outside. So the place looks fairly popular. But the horses outside, none of them look worse for wear, if that's what you're asking.
I would like to get a look
Oh,
at those
hello.
goats, DM, just in case Burley gets hungry.
What's going on with the music?
Yeah, it's all of a sudden it just kicked on. I'm like, why did my music start all of a sudden? It's like, there we go. All right. So, but I turned my volume down, so if it's too loud for you guys, you'll have to turn it down yourselves. All right,
Is it
so
romantic?
it is not. It is just sort of livey-dovey. All right, so anyway, the shaggy lawn surrounds the inn, or I should say there's a shaggy lawn that surrounds the inn, and the grass itself is a color that is peculiar to Greyhawk. The blades themselves are a deep green along the edges, but are dark red at the center. Natives of Greyhawk, and again, a lot of this is stuff that I'm just telling you guys just because to give you a little bit of background and a little bit of color for background here in the city. Natives of Greyhawk can tell you that although the color is unusual, the grass has one distinct advantage. It has a bitter taste that only goats can tolerate, and this prevents the grass from being chewed away to nothing by other animals wandering through the city. Gravel paths lead up to the front door and the adjoining stable. A long hitching rail runs along the front of the building, and although 7 horses are tethered there, there is room probably for at least another dozen horses to be tethered to that hitching post on the outside of the tavern. So, who are you going inside, or were you going to the stables? I forgot who said what.
Varys is going to
Ronnie
go
was
in.
going to the stables, DM.
Who is?
I'm going in.
Okay. Okay. And who's going to the stables?
Ronnie and Burley.
All right. So, first, really quick, as you walk around side looking into the stables, Ronnie, the goats kind of and go back to munching as Burley eyes them hungrily. Inside the stable, you can see that there are numerous open stalls, but there are 4 stalls that are filled. And they look to be permanent residents because these particular stalls, have the horses' names engraved on brass plates that are stuck to the stall. The proportions of the stable, contrary to the inn itself, the stable are on a normal scale. It's built of a wide wood planking and has a sod roof, which is nearly flat, but it's mounded in the center and kind of slopes gently to the sides. As I said before, there's two goats grazing on the roof itself. The doors of the stable are open, and as you step in, you see a boy of about 14 inside brushing one of the horses. There are 4 horses inside, and they all appear to be permanent residents since their names appear above their stalls. A wagon and a cart stand at the front of the stable. Tack hangs on the walls, and you can see 4 saddles rest near the wagon. All in all, there's another 12 stalls that stand empty within the stables. And as you step in, the boy sort of grabs a little cap and gives you a sort of a little jiggle of his cap. "Good day, sir. Welcome to the Whistling Fish. Will you be staying tonight?" as he goes back to.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
boy, words cost money. You keep yours to yourself until I'm ready to let you know.
As he kind of looks at you, he goes, "Okay then, sir. Have a good day." As he goes back to brushing the horse.
Well, I'm going to look at those horses, DM. Do they look good?
Yeah, horses look well fed, well taken care of. And he looks to be, in your discerning eye, is doing a pretty good job of rubbing down and brushing down the horse that he's working with now.
All right, I'm going to tell him that, DM, and then I'm going to ask him if he's ever brushed a bear.
As he looks, he goes, "No, sir, never have. Only horses."
I said, well, come here. Let me show you how it's done.
As he, a little bit of trepidation, sort of puts his brush down and wipes his hands on his shirt and his pants and stuff. You can see that his shoes are worn but well taken care of, appear to be oiled so that they're supple leather. So he looks to, at least you could tell that while he may not be wealthy, he knows how to take care of what he has to make sure that it is it's maintained. And he goes up and he begins to take instruction from you on the proper etiquette on brushing a bear without losing an arm.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I do, DM. And I show him Burley's special spot where if you pet him and scratch him, his leg kicks.
I'm sure that's how it worked.
Do I recognize any of the names of on the brass plaques?
Yeah, well, so the names themselves, you can see are Sharna, Myrna, Gabe, and Gus. No, you do not recognize any of the names other than...
The names of the horses, then.
That is correct. Sharna, Myrna, Gabe, and Gus. Those plaques that are on the... and it appears that the young lad was currying down Gus, because Gus is not in his stall with the rest of them.
Plenty of
normal looking horses?
Yep. Sure enough. All right. Oops. Hello. All right. So, really quick, as you guys are dealing with the stables, Varys, you go to push the door open. It is a heavy wooden thing. Takes a little bit of leaning into to get the door, but the well-oiled hinges ease your task greatly. And as you open it up, the sounds from inside become much more prevalent as the music and the revelry going on in this late afternoon dinner hour. The inn itself is probably 3/4 filled, although a lot of folks kind of crowded around one another. There are lots of places for you to find yourself a place to sit.
Well, I'm just gonna mosey up to the owner, barkeep,
Oops.
whatever.
How about we turn the music down, guys? Damn, it's like all of a sudden it got loud on me. As you step in,
Look around while I'm, stepping up to the owner.
Yep.
Proprietor.
All right. So let me give the description as you step. By the way, I changed the map if you guys didn't see. You enter the inn through a 10-foot tall door to find a spacious bar room. You feel dwarfed by the large proportions of the entire establishment. The ceilings here are easily 12 feet high. The perimeter of the room is divided into numerous small alcoves, each which has its own table and benches. The bar itself sits all the way across the chamber, beginning at one wall, making up a couple of corners until it eventually comes back to the same wall. So it kind of forms almost like a U, even though it's not shown on the map. It forms like a big U at the far end of the bar. A doorway and a window to the kitchen are visible by the bar. You can see all over the place there are round and rectangular tables with stools and chairs that fill up the entire establishment. to one side of the bar, you can see a wooden staircase leads upstairs, as well as there's fireplaces and a couple other fire pits sort of burning in the middle of the in the middle, sort of give this place a huge warm feeling. As I said, the establishment itself is probably 3/4 filled, even though there is a lot of people in here, there is also a lot of room to find yourselves a place to stand or sit as necessary. Of course, your standard bar keeps and whatnot are running about serving the place, and one of the girls nods to you as you step through and step past her. And as you
Do they all look like adventurers or?
it's a mismatch of folks, right? Looks like some could be adventurers. Most of them appear to be dock workers of some kind, or warehouses and stuff like that. But immediately upon stepping through the doors and looking across the room to look at the barkeep, you understand why this place is built the way it is. Because walking back and forth behind the bar is a hill giant.
Wow, okay.
Good guess.
As it, I know, man. It's like if I don't catch it, even though I have it set to recycle the same song, if for some reason something happens, it turns over. But anyway, so oops, my goodness, I can't believe I forgot to do that. Let me drop your host on the.
He's gonna take the whole map.
Oh, he should be in like a tuxedo or something.
Is he a half giant?
No, he looks to be a full-size giant, but he is a little on the thin side compared to some of the other giants that you have kind of that you've met in the world. And as he sort of steps up, he looks at you, he goes, and he sort of slides his hand out in like this slow motion. This big, huge, meaty paw comes right to Varys, and he sets it down and goes and reaching for your hand, almost like he wants a handshake. And he just kind of looks at you with this half crooked smile and like broken teeth. Agora now, welcome to Whistling Fish. And he sort of reaches to take your hand, and rather than crushing you, it's rather a gentle grip. His hands aren't really rough. It's almost like he moisturizes, right? And he's like shaking your hand nice and slow. You would like food? You would like drink? You would like place to sleep?
How is this
much?
giant dressed?
He is. Sorry, go ahead. Let's let Varys take care of this. Go ahead, Varys.
How much for 6 private rooms?
Wait, are we 6 again? I think we're only.
No, there's only 5.
So
So-
we're 5.
Yeah, there's 5. There was 6 with Sultal, but Sultal is not with you. One room, 6 silver pieces per day.
That include meal?
No, only for the room.
Do you have hot baths?
Sure, but not part of the room. 1 silver hot bath, 2 copper cold bath.
Okay.
Don't forget the horses.
Does he have I'm getting there. Does he have like a menu?
Sure, you want breakfast, you want lunch, you want dinner.
How much stable?
How much what?
Stabling for horses.
Oh, you got horse included with room, but not the tip for Joey.
Of course. Of course. Joey, stable boy,
Yup.
son.
No. And he breaks out into this bellowing laugh, and everybody sort of stops and looks. And then they all start sort of laughing along with him. They have no idea what he's laughing at, but he laughs and he stops and he looks back. He sort of pats you on the shoulder, almost sort of knocking you sideways slightly. I like you're funny, Elf. You a bard? You a bard?
No. But I have companions that probably would like this place.
Sure, invite everybody. How many? I have 8 rooms left.
Need 5.
Oh, sure, invite everybody. Plenty of room.
Maybe room for a large bear animal friend.
By himself?
He was Jude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he could share room. As he kind of looks across the room and he spies Ronnie as Ronnie comes back through with the bears. People sort of stop for a second and look. And then I guess it's a normal thing in another day in Greyhawk.
Yeah,
So you need 5 room, 6 silver per room, 30 silver.
Are we attracting any attention from the Denzians?
So yes and no. Burley, I think, grabbed more of the attention than anybody. Of course, you guys. I'm not going to lie. You guys are still outside because nobody but Varys and Ronnie have gone in. So I will say that.
Okay. How are they looking at Varys and Ronnie?
Again, so they look and it's sort of like, oh, newcomers. How you guys are dressed. Obviously, if anybody is drawing any attention, it is Burly Bear. But Ronnie and Varys are not really drawing that much of attention, just because they're your standard everyday elf, and
Are there any other non-humans in here besides the elf?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you can see there are some mixes of other races in here, including a couple of halflings, a gnome. Most people are human. There might be some with other blood in them, but for the most part, they all look human. But standing out, there are a couple halflings and a gnome in here, sort of standing on the tables with their friends, sort of drinking and singing songs along to the music and stuff. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, matching what I was trying to.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, well, give me 5 rooms.
Give me 30 silver.
I'll lay 3 gold down.
He looks, he's like, okay. As he takes it, and he turns, and behind the bar, you see he sort of bends over and he picks up this metal lockbox, and he opens up the lockbox and he drops the coin in and he pulls out keys. Each one of the keys is a skeletal-like key with a little piece of leather attached to it, and at the end of the leather is a metal coin-shaped, or a piece of metal that's coin-shaped, and it's got a stamp on it with a number, apparently indicating the number of the room that you're...
I'm pointing to the stairs. These are upstairs?
Yep.
Excellent. My friends will be back, as will I. I'm gonna go see your stable boy. His name was
Joey.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Welcome.
I'll hit out.
All right.
Say, I procured a room. Stable is included with the room. However, the tip for Joey the stable boy is not included. So that's on you if you wanna tip the lad. I probably will give him a little something because taking care of horses is very essential.
Don't
to
flash
our.
around a lot of gold.
I'm not worried about that.
Mhm.
So we'll be fine. Okay, Baron sticks his head in
Okay.
into the into the
And meals or whatever, on your
Yeah.
own time.
Yep.
yeah, he sticks his head in
Okay.
and does he see any other magic uses in there?
I pass
Um,
out key to everybody.
you're gonna pass out what, Varys?
I give everybody a key.
Okay. Yep. So everybody
And
has the key. Yep.
I'm gonna go see Joey.
All right, Ronnie. Okay. So as you look inside, excuse me, Baron, you do not see anybody that would indicate to you that they were users of magic of any kind. Not even cleric. Most of the folks in here, as I said, look kind of like maybe dock workers or warehouse workers or of some kind. Maybe some off-duty watchmen. As you see a couple of fellows in here sporting the colors of the City Watch of the Free City.
But not a lot of adventurers.
Doesn't look like a whole lot of adventurers in here, although maybe a couple could be. But other than that, I will say, though, that as you sort of step in, you see an individual coming out of the privy, which is apparently across the room. A gentleman, he steps out, and he is wearing sort of these blue clothes, very ornate or very elegant looking. His hair is done up and very neatly. He is a very clean shaven individual. He sports on his tunic a symbol that you have become very familiar with because it's the same symbol sported by your very own Zadkiel, as he is apparently a follower of St. Cuthbert, though he doesn't have the priestly look about him. He has more of a hard line, like a hawkish nose and a mustache and like a goatee, sort of light beard kind of looking, but he's definitely of that ilk. And you see that he sort of steps out of the privy wherever he was at, and he goes and grabs a table and sits down. Apparently that's where he was as he's nursing his drink and whatnot. So that being said, going back to the rest of y'all, Varys, what's that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my horse.
Okay. Yep. All right. So as you return to the stables to deposit your horses, the young boy that you saw Ronnie speaking to sort of greets you with a half nod. Welcome, gents, as he looks at Zadkiel's mount and he goes, whoa, ain't never had no horse this big afore. What's his name? As Zadkiel has no name for him. I call him Horse. Hey, Horse. Will you gents be staying at the fish with us then?
Yes, I'm preparing rooms for my
You have your room key, sir? Not that I don't trust you good folk, of course, but I have to make sure.
Flash it.
All right. And he takes your horse and he leads him into a stall, and one by one he verifies each of your keys, and one by one he leads each of your horses to their respective stalls. Varys, where they are bed up for the night, taking off the saddles and saddlebags and the blankets and whatnot, sort of tossing them over the rail right near the stall that they belong to. There's a little placard right there, and he takes some kind of a quill pen of some kind made of grease or something, and he scribbles whatever the horse's name is on it on this little wooden plaque that sort of sits there, and he can rub it later and rewrite over it should the horse name change. But he sort of scribbles your horse's names on them, and then says they'll be freshly fed, freshly wiped down. Take care of it myself, sir.
Very good. I
Yep.
will
I'll be right back.
take
Okay.
my other possessions with me,
Okay.
and I will give him a silver.
As he looks and his eyes kind of get light, he goes, "Thank you, sir."
And say, make sure no one messes with anywhere.
Oh, trust me, no one messes with Gruenab, sir.
And I'll head in and put myself in my room, and then see about finding a table or something for all of us.
Okay.
Same thing
All
with
right.
me. I give him a silver piece.
Okay.
You
Okay.
should get one silver for me. I give him one for
Yep.
the
Zadkill's gonna give him a gold.
for that big a horse. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that not only that, but he's trying to get rid of his money because he doesn't want to have money. He has to go see the church to deposit all of his coins so he can keep 10% and give the rest to the church. Because that's what Zadkill would do. So you guys step back in and you find yourselves a place to sit. And you haven't sat for more than a couple of minutes when the barkeep girl comes over. To take your order. And she, I probably should have made this as an image available for you guys. But she sort of says, welcomes you guys, telling you about the order. Says, now we have various fares for you boys. Depending upon how much coin that you're wishing to spend. Now, if you're looking for just something common, we do have the stock pot stew as well as the soup. We do have pigeon pot pie, if that's more to your liking, or rabbit and potato stew, if that's something you may like. Now, if you want something a little more upscale, we do have the bloodhawk breast or the crocodile steak is what we have on the menu for tonight. Now, if your boys are more willing or you're more able to pay, those little, for the little more pricier fare, if you would like, we do have buffalo ribeye, as well as owlbear steak and eggs. So those are the choices that you've got for your meals tonight. What are you boys be having for your drinks? Are you wishing just some straight ale? Are you wishing for more liquor? You, sir, as she looks at Varys, you to me look like more of a wine connoisseur. Are you looking more for wine or something like that?
I would like the best elven wine you have.
Oh, you want the elven wine?
Indeed, I do. And I want something delicious,
Okay.
but not too overfilling.
All right. If you would be so kind, just a second. I have been summoned. The gods have summoned me to go aid. So,
Your wife.
yep, aka my wife. So if you guys would please to be giving me like 5 minutes, and I will be back. Give me a second.
I will take the dogs out.
All right, I'll be back in a minute. This is not our normal break. Hopefully, I won't be more than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I'll just wait then. So, Mary, you want to sit here in the corner? Or you want to sit over there by yourself? There's a spot here in the corner
Well,
if you want. Even behind the light.
that's going to be very entertaining. Well, they usually, yeah, Islam is pretty tolerant of foreigners. At least they're not real tolerant members of Islam that try to. It's supposed to be they're treating us the people. If you remember the Taliban in Afghanistan, did let a lot of let the Americans go, professionals, but the people that were cooperating with the foreign nationals, natives, uh, they weren't treated well. Hello again.
And I'm back. Hello.
And I'm here.
Well, welcome back.
Did our druid make it back from taking Burly Bear for a walk?
I don't know. I decided to just wait until the normal break.
Yeah. All right. So, make sure. Doo-doo-doo. All right. So that being said, like I said, she starts to look at some of the different crap. Where is it? I have a list of spirits here that I thought was pretty cool. So, and one of them is specific elven in nature. As she talks about this Evermead, it's called a mead, but it is actually a wine. And she describes the mead as this is interesting in that this elvish drink is made the exact same way, and it's made in secret. No matter where it is made the exact same. No matter where you get this in the world, it is made with such precision and delicacy that no matter where you get it in the world, it will taste the exact same. Every cup of this golden simmering liquid tastes the same. It is the perfect mix of sweet, spice, and smoky. Rumors says that the mead is aged for 100 years before it's even ready to be drunk. It's also rumored that elves on every plane of existence brew it the exact same. So no matter where you go in the universe, if there are elves there, it is made the same. And that is 11 gold pieces per glass.
Nice.
Now, if that's not to your taking, we have some more that are a little less.
How much is a whole bottle?
For a whole bottle. Well, let's see. It's 11 gold per glass. 6 glasses per, so 70 gold.
All right. So, give me a bottle.
Okay.
'Cause I'm not gonna drink it all night, but
Okay.
want it for the road. And give me what was I don't want the owlbear meal, but what was the other one?
Okay. So as far as the meals go, they have your common kind of your stock pot stew, rabbit and potato, pigeon pie. They have the blood hawk breast and the crocodile steak.
Yeah, give me the blood hawk breast.
Okay.
With some,
Um, that'll be 5 silver pieces.
all right.
All right. And so, anybody
I'll
else?
give him 71 holes and
Okay.
it's change.
Uh,
A simple ale and a simple meal for us.
all right. So for Baron, then the stew is 4 copper pieces, and the ale, she's like, you sir, look like you might like the Wizard's Choice. That is a popular ale for those of your ilk within the city. We don't.
I will look kind of shocked that you recognize
Yep.
a wizard.
Well, you have the the robes and the sort of look about you, but she says the Wizard's Choice is really just a reddish tinted beer that is rather yeasty, so it foams up very nicely and it has a very heady flavor to it. If you would like something, or if you would just like our normal North Brew. North Brew is sort of the standard fare. It's probably one of the cheapest you're going to get. It's pretty dark, a little bit on the bitter side, if you ask me. But
Let's try
yeah.
try your wizard's brew.
Very well. So for one glass of Wizard's Choice is 4 copper, along with the 6 copper for your meal, sir. There will be 10 copper pieces or 1 silver. Actually, half a silver. Is it 10? Is it 10 or 20? I always forget. No, it's 10. Is it 20? I thought it was 20 silver for gold, but it's 10 copper per silver. Yep, so it'll be 1 silver piece for your meal.
I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and hand her a silver.
Just does our wizard or our priest of Jiskar want to order anything, or
Yeah, I'll take a flagon of honey mead and
Okay.
your hare and potato stew.
and the what?
Hare, rabbit.
Yep, the
Potato.
rabbit and potato plate. Yep. So it's like a stew, but it's mostly just rabbit and potatoes on a plate, not so much made into a stew. And you want what kind of ale?
Honey
What-
mead.
Well, we don't have honey mead. I'm sorry to say. However,
All mead is made of honey.
yeah. Well, I mean, just we have some that have a much more honeyed flavor. Let me think. Do. Let's see if we have one that is. Do. Where is it? I'm looking for one that I know I was reading one that said it was made of a honey, but it didn't. I don't see the mead in here.
No mead. What kind of establishment is this?
Yeah, no, it's like I was looking. It's like, they don't necessarily have anything, but they do have what they call the golden sands, which is a honey, a thick honey brew. So that's the closest, if you want to say mead, is their gold sands, and it's 3 copper per cup.
So I'm gonna get a flagon of it.
All right, so it'll be a flagon will be 3 cups, so that'll be 9 copper for that.
So 1 silver.
Yep.
And then whatever the meal is.
Yep. And the meal is 6 copper for the rabbit and potato.
I'm just gonna give her silver.
All right. So as you guys pay for your meal, and you begin to sit back and kind of enjoy the environment for which you sit. As the music is lively, the clientele appear to be rather relaxed in this atmosphere, which is interesting because you're in the presence of a hill giant, which is kind of funny to say, but apparently people like the place because it is extremely busy at the early onset of dinner. You guys are here for maybe an hour or so, kind of enjoying the place, kind of getting a lay of the land. Begin to pick up on folks kind of talking some of the what's going on in their lives. It's kind of hard not to hear folks grumbling about the lack of overtime pay, working down on the docks as busy as the docks have been, stuff like that. It's kind of the general fare of the general trying to looking for is the just like pretty much every other bar and whatnot that you guys have been to, right? Albeit that it is probably twice the size height-wise that you guys have seen. One of the things that you guys do kind of pick up on as you're kind of listening, as I said, there's a kind of an eclectic mix of folks around here between halfling gnome, dock workers, off-duty watchmen and stuff like that, and those off-duty watchmen sitting nearby kind of catch your attention a little bit as you hear them kind of talking, and suddenly one of them says a little bit loudly, "I'm telling you, man, that's exactly what happened. They was on their post. Sarge said it plain as day. Said that folks are getting run off. The guards left their post. Something really scared them, and they took off." And the guy's like, "Nah, that's just rumor. That's just rumor." He goes, "I'm telling you." And then they kind of get back to their discussion, whatever it was. Nothing really comes about it. And as your sort of ears are pricking and you're eating your meal and the drinks are kind of flowing and coming, you look up and you see this fellow that you saw earlier. He has these blue and white clothes on, the very soldier / priestly looking about him. Really reminds you a lot of Zadkiel, albeit a little bit different colors. Zadkiel's more gold and white. This guy has his blues and whites. He has no weapons on him, but you could tell he is probably a soldier of some kind just from the steeliness of his eyes. They're kind of a dark gray, not really black, but kind of a dark gray colored eyes. His hair is kind of salt and peppered a little bit. He has, he's clean shaven, but you can see the nicks and cuts around him. You're not sure if it's because of his shaving or because of his battle, but the nicks and cuts on his hands and stuff like that sort of tell the tale of somebody that's not unaccustomed to being in a fight of some kind. As he sort of walks up to your table and kind of looks around you, he goes, "Gentlemen, Welcome to my city. I am Talisic Thraden, humble servant of his lordship Saint Cuthbert of the Cudgel. I see a brother in arms, and I would be loath were I not to come over and introduce myself and ask that I might provide this table, this fine group of gentlemen, a drink on me. As he sort of steps up and, without waiting to be told, slides into a chair at your table, throwing his hand up for the barkeep or the bar server girls to come running over and grab you guys all something to drink. He goes, "So, what brings you?" As he looks to each of you.
Recreation.
"Oh, what sort of recreation you looking for? Are you looking for gambling? Are you? Because gambling is bad for the soul, lad. The demons will come take you over for sure and drag your soul to hell."
I've slain a few. Not too worried about that.
Ha ha! You're a good man, Elf.
I'm here for vacation.
Oh,
Rest,
were it
rest.
that I was able to have a vacation of my own. I can tell you, I have.
I've done enough saving the world lately.
Oh, then you are men of good and stout hearts. Then I take it.
Well, maybe him when I point the tag
As he
The
kind
rest
of
of
looked.
us are okay.
Yeah, well, we're all fairly good folk. We've done lots of heroic deeds. Perhaps you've heard of our working Gyrax. Or
Gryrax, boy, that is way farther than I have ever had the privilege to travel at. But if you say so, then I can only take you for your word. I would not doubt the word of men of such stout hearts.
We sent some fiends back to the lower planes.
Is that so? Well, then, surely we must toast to your exploits. I must hear them all. We should find a bard. We should hire a bard to start singing the songs of your what do you call yourselves? Are you a band of merry men? Are you Robin Hood men in tights? What are you?
The Smith group.
The Smith group. So if I need my horse shoed, then I assume that I come to you. Is this what you're telling me? As he sort of laughs and starts throwing back drinks, ordering more for you guys.
Funny as I'm pointing to the bottle.
As he sort of laughs and nods his head, agreeing wholeheartedly. So, how long do you plan to stay in the city? Have you been here before? Is this your first time in the Jewel of the Flannis?
Till I decide to leave. That's how long I'm staying.
Well, let me tell you, she is a succubus. You think you love her, and then the minute you try to leave, she will suck you back in, and you won't be able to leave. So be careful. Be careful what you are wishing for, because I can tell you that she can bring life to the deadest of men, and she can bring death to those most full of life. So
Well,
she is a
are you
cold-hearted
the-
mistress, my friend.
Are you the actual ruler of this place?
No. He turns over. He goes, Gruenab. Have you not met our host? He hisses.
No, I meant the city. So,
Phew. Sir, you give me too much credit. No, I am but a humble servant of the church. Talisic Thraden, servant of Saint Cuthbert, if I may.
well, then you would like to know our brave paladin here.
Yes.
He's a servant of that very same.
He was the impetus for my striking up the courage to come over here to speak with you, for as I said, I could not let a brother in faith go by without introducing myself and offering my services however they might be needed. Perhaps, I know, perhaps I should give you a tour of the city, perhaps show you the places to go, the sights to see. I can show you the many ins and outs of the city that only someone who has lived here their entire life can show you.
Oh, well, perhaps another time.
Well, not now, of course, but perhaps tomorrow. Tomorrow I could come. We could get together, say after breakfast, and I can.
I mean, if you said you want to accompany you, that's quite
Yeah.
alright.
He,
I have
he looks.
noticed.
He looks, and he's. Well, I can very much appreciate that, my friend. But I tell you, you must be careful as newcomers to the city. You never know who you can trust and who you cannot trust.
Yeah, exactly.
The barrel
As I wink at, as I wink at, Igor. So we had my Josepharian friend,
Yeah.
Noel, who I can trust.
I says this town, it used to have laws about certain things, but they still have the laws, but it just seems that no one wishes to enforce them. And I never thought that I would live to see the day that the city's law turned its back on us lawful citizens and looked the other way to lawbreakers. Do you understand? Why would men in power, why would they wish to do such things to the people that put them in power in the first place? I don't understand it. I have lived here my whole life, my friends, and I tell you, there is just I can sense that the city has a growth beneath it that is spreading like a disease of evil. City officials I've tried to warn, and they've just they don't want to listen. They say, Talasek, the old fool. I just
Spoken with the guilds?
I have
There's
I've
quite a few of them here.
I've spoken with the guilds, but being in the church, I have much sway, and the church itself has much sway within the city oligarchs. But I tell you, it's the city officials are just indifferent. It was something I never thought that I would see. I can't tell them where the problem is, and so they tell me there is no problem. If I can't tell them where the problem is, then obviously there is no problem, and they say I'm crazy. But I've seen, my friends, I tell you, I've seen strange folk moving into our city. They appear to be ordinary families or farmers or merchants, but there's something going on in the city. You must beware. You must be very, very careful. And they
Here we go again.
always seem they always seem to find others of their kind. I don't know where they live. I've tried to find them, but I'm an old fool. I should not be telling you these things. You're here for vacation and entertainment, and here I am trying to tell you about my troubles with the city, and I think maybe I've just had too much to drink. But I tell you, my friend, I will be here in the morning, and I will meet you at breakfast, after breakfast, and we will go wherever it is that you wish to go. And if you don't wish to go, then we will just have breakfast together. How is that? And then you can be on your way, and I shall be on my way. And that he sort of stands up and excuses himself as the hour has begun to get late, as it is perhaps close to the witching hour, so to speak. As you guys find yourselves, you've been sitting here eating and drinking and speaking with this man and listening to what's going on around the place. Just sort of. But what's that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ronnie, before he walks off, he's going to say, that almost sounds like you have a blight problem underneath the city.
I know. When I say beneath the city, my friend, I don't mean literally under the city, but in the city, where you have the upper layer of people's consciousness, and you have this underlying festering evil. It could be walking in plain sight in the streets of our city, but it is still the undercurrent of the lifeblood of the city is infected with some evil. I know it, but I can't prove it. But I only wish to come to warn you, my friend, because you are obviously of my ilk and of my church and my faith, and so I must look out for other brothers of my faith. But as I said, I have, and he sort of stands, as I said, and he's a little bit woozy. You can see his eyes are a little bloodshot, and he looks a little sort of downtrodden and a little bit sort of drunk as he stands up.
Monkey's here now, so maybe
Yep.
he can talk.
As he looks up, and as Ronnie or as Talisic sort of looks at Zadkiel and says, "My friend, I shall see you tomorrow. We shall have breakfast, and then we shall court the city, and I shall show you what I am talking about, and you will truly know what it is to be walking amongst the jewel of the Flannis." And he sort of gets up, and he starts sort of half staggering his way out, and sort of heads off into the night as you guys go back to your meal. Varys, give me a wisdom check, please.
There was something off about that.
What's that?
I'm just saying, there's
Oh,
I'm gonna use one of my plus ones.
Oh, okay.
and lower it to 15.
okay. All right, that leaves you a +1. So
Yep.
so you guys were sitting there talking, and as you're
Yeah. Careful about what you babbling on about.
yeah. So as you were sort of talking to Talisic, and he was talking to you a lot, you are a very observant individual anyway, just by nature of your trade as well as your race. And you've seen folks around here and whatnot, and you didn't notice anything about it at first, but for a while there, sitting like right over here in a little corner table by themselves, you saw this individual sort of hunkered over a glass of what looked to be cider of some kind that he had ordered, or she, you're not really sure. The guy sat, and as you're thinking about it, you're like, he seemed to be almost leaning to your guys' direction, trying, even though he's kind of a little bit of a distance away. It's almost as if like you would do if you were kind of listening to others at a table nearby, just to kind of pick up what they're saying.
Yeah.
He was fidgeting with something about his neck. You're not really sure. And then when Talisic got up and left, this stranger sort of got up and left as well. And you looking over there at the table now, you see that the girl, the bar girl or the servant girl, has come by and picked up his glass, and it's like still full. Like he had ordered whatever he had ordered, didn't even drink any of it. And he got up and left and kind of disappeared. And it kind of didn't really dawn on you at first because everything was kind of happening pretty quick, and it just sort of like, as you were sort of thinking, it's sort of your reverie in your brain went back and thinking, playing over everything Talisic had said, and all of a sudden you're like, it just dawned on you, holy shit, there was somebody sitting over there that was paying an awful lot of attention to me and him and us, and he seemed to get up and leave about the same time Talisic did. But
Yep.
that was like 10 minutes ago, and it just kind of dawned on you about 10 minutes later.
I'm gonna excuse myself
Okay?
and go outside
Okay?
and look around.
It is dark streets. You see that the lamplighters have lit the streets fairly well around here. They're not super bright down in every corner and stuff, but for the most part, it is dark, shadowy streets leading off into the foreign quarter. And while you do see a couple people staggering down the street, drunks coming out of the various bars and shops and whatnot, You see a group of city watchmen, a gaggle of 6 of them, mostly wearing pole arms and swords at their side, as they're just slowly walking through, keeping the peace along the main road. But as for the individual that you saw, or Talisek, yeah, long gone.
Alright. Well, I was going to turn invisible and go look around for them,
Mhm.
but I'm going to do something else
Okay.
and just go back in.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell my friends, we should perhaps get a little rest. And I'm going to write a hand note and not say it out loud and just say we were watched and listened when our company was here. The individual is no longer in sight. I would make sure you lock your door and maybe, you know, do some things to protect yourself in case we have company in the night. I know what I'm doing.
Baron says he knows what he's doing.
And so I'm going to go and turn in.
I'll go.
Okay.
I am after after a meal in the Wizards. How was
What's that, sir?
the Wizards ale brew?
Oh, actually, very good. Very good. Had a little bit of a sour to it, but it was actually really good. For the fact that you only paid a couple coppers for it, it was definitely worth the coin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I will. By the way, I will make sure that I have the full menus posted for next game. Actually, I could probably get them up for the after break, because that's what we're going to do right now. I know we took a little bit a few minutes ago when I went and helped the wife, but we are actually going to take our official break right now. So for those that are going to hang on, I appreciate it. If you have to jet, I understand. But we will be back in, give or take, about 15 minutes. Give our players a chance to do whatever it is that they need to do to get themselves caught up, refresh your drinks, refresh your snacks. Hopefully you guys will be with us when you come back. If not, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next time. But we will be back here in about 15 minutes to see what the heck the party. They just got here, and they're already getting their foot stuck in shit. So it's like this stuff follows you guys around wherever you go. But we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Listening to the smooth, silky sounds of our very own monkey boogers.
Oh, he's here now.
He's here.
Yep, I'm here. Sorry, work called.
All good.
Yeah, I know. It's a busy part of the year for me. Doesn't help that your coworker is out and you have to pick up other workload.
Work, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta do one more thing and then we'll be done.
Okey-doke.
I had to put in absence for Thursday. So what I miss?
Nothing.
Still alive?
Yep.
All right.
We were in Greyhawk.
We're in Greyhawk. Nice. I say we overthrow it and make a coup.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, we seem to be, yeah, we seem to be right in the middle of it. There appears to be some sort of blight in the city.
A blight in the city. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. An adherent of St. Cuthbert says that that the that the city officials of Greyhawk don't seem to care about some of this some of the strange things.
What sets University of Phoenix
that,
business degrees apart? Specialization and speed to
that are
completion.
happening.
We offer 25 online business program options, so you can choose your focus.
I don't know whether
Plus,
or
a
not,
competency-based MBA that you can finish in 12 months for under $10,000. And at University of Phoenix, your eligible transfer credits could cover up to 75% of your bachelor's degree.
you know, that
Get
there's
started
a
at
problem
phoenix.edu.
Here, but it didn't appear to have a problem here when we came in.
When picking a commerce platform, you have two choices.
Seemed rather normal at the gate.
Or, that's
some
the sound of selling on Shopify, the commerce platform that supercharges your selling online and in person. Why battle inferior platforms' weak tools and limited integrations?
Would have helped to know this.
Join the millions of businesses growing on Shopify and ignite your selling.
Not so much disappearing, but like being scared off their posts.
Shopify.com/listen23. Shopify.com/listen23.
It's about the same thing. Scared off of their post. Now, what would scare a guard?
Taxes.
Besides that,
All right, where was I?
I'm leery of any stranger coming up and talking to us out of, just curiosity. In real life, as in the games, I don't tolerate drunks very well. That sort of limits the things that you can do.
What? Yep, don't die on me.
I'm trying not to.
And we are back. We are back just in time. Just trying to get all those images uploaded and assorted in the journal entry. So players, if you want to really quick, I will go through. If you go to the journal, you go to journal entries. Why is it not showing there? Hang on a second. I think it's because I have the images, but I got to have the folder set too, which is pretty weird. Ownership, observer. There we go. If you go to FCOG, which stands for Free City of Greyhawk, and you click on images, you can see the various images, and you can see the prices for ale, the prices for breakfast, and what that entails for dinner, drinks including non-alcoholic and wine, the liquor prices, lodging prices that are sort of standard in the city, depending upon where you're staying, and the lunch. So I added those so you guys just can. Those are going to be sort of kind of the common things, at least here at the Whistling Fish.
And the bath.
Yeah, the bath is an extra 1 silver piece for hot water.
Oh yeah.
Two copper pieces for cold water bath.
Yeah.
So, alrighty then.
Yeah.
So it is after midnight. Most of the clientele have begun to sort of wind their way out of the establishment, although there still are a few hardcore individuals that are in here still bumping and grinding to the bard playing his music as he strums around. There's no stage per se. He just sort of whittles his way around the tavern bar area. But it is getting late, as you see that most of the servants and whatnot are about cleaning up tables, turning chairs upside down, stools upside down, so that they can sweep and kind of pick up the mess and drag the drunks and clean up their vomit and whatnot before tossing them out into the street to find their own way home. And you guys find yourself sitting here kind of going over a little bit what Varys had said regarding this strange individual. But other than that, I know that you guys were saying before we went to break, you were talking about going to bed. So I'm assuming that is going to be the case. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I'm checking door and window to my room.
Quick bath.
Okay. As you guys find your way upstairs, I didn't put any walls on this one here, so you guys, it's because we don't care really. It's just the inn, so you can kind of pick a room. You can see they have a couple of privies up here, along with the water barrels on the north end, just at the top of the stairs. There's a couple privies there with barrels to kind of dunk yourselves in. If you want the hot water, it's the extra silver piece to kind of bring you guys to wherever it is that. Oops, I do apologize. I forgot it. Sorry. Hang on just a second. All right. And you guys proceed to go about your business of a long rest. I was going to say, I was just going to put Zadkill in the toilet because I figured that's where he wanted to spend the rest of the night.
Well, I did have that elf's
Yep.
kind of gassy.
Yeah.
Baron is going to wizard lock his door.
Okay.
And I'm going to put on that one spell that I got.
Making shit up now, huh?
No,
Wait, let me look in the player's handbook so I can find a really cool spell that the DM forgot that I had.
Wyvern Wad.
Oh, okay. Shit, you're going to put you an old wyvern right there in the hallway, huh? Okay.
Over my door.
Because those things are pretty big, man. They're like about 6-7 foot long.
So it'll be the entire ceiling.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you guys go ahead and if you need to readjust your spells for a long rest or whatever you need to do for your restful purposes, I need Varys to please give me a wisdom or give me a saving throw versus petrification, please.
Dang.
Already?
I need Varys to
He
give me
took the Medusa room.
He took, yeah.
No.
I figure I'd get
He
it.
did that. He did it before. He opened up a door and there was a Medusa. I mean, he's got a. It's in his blood to do it. So.
I mean, I got a bonus to my save, so.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Go ahead and give me your saving throw versus petrification, please. All right. Oh, I am going to say that I'm going to give you a bonus point for free because it was so close. I'm not going to make you.
Mine plus 5.
+5. You only have a +1.
I'm a cloak and a ring.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, so you didn't. It should have added it onto. Okay, all right. We need to make sure because I thought I fixed everybody's, but you do have the cloak and the ring. So that being said, the only reason I did that is just because of the fear factor, right? It's not like you're like attacked or anything, right? As you guys go through your long rest, you're relatively peaceful. The rooms themselves are extremely cozy. The beds are soft. The blankets or the quilts that go across, because it is cold outside. Remember, it is winter months. The blankets, you're able to sort of huddle up, and they actually have these vent type systems that you can feel the heat, the air from down below in the common room sort of gets channeled through these vents, if you will. It's not like forced ventilation, but it's just natural as the air kind of, the heat rises and it sort of warms the floor, but some of it goes up through this tubing and stuff and sort of has a warm, allows warm air to get into the rooms. Of course, they all have a table and a little writing desk, etc., a little foot locker for you guys to put your stuff in should you so desire, but they're very comfortable. And for the most part, you sleep well, except for Varys. Fortunately, he's an elf, and he doesn't have to have a whole crap ton of rest or whatnot. But Varys, you dreamt of strange robed figures, very much like the one that you saw in the common room last night, sort of overlooking or over eavesdropping, on your conversations and whatnot. Mm-hmm. They wear strange symbols and chains about their necks. They appear to be searching for something in this huge, dimly lit cavern. Eventually, one of them seems to find what is an enormous glass globe, which was then moved to the center of the cavern. As all the figures clustered in a circle around it, it began chanting louder and louder, as if the very frequency and volume of their voice would cause the glass itself to shatter. The globe rumbled and began to shake, but it never broke. One of the figures you in your dream began to get angry and shouted something to the rest of the participants, and slowly they all filed out of the cave, leaving the globe to be guarded by a dozen or so or a half dozen or so of the figures. And when you woke up this morning, as the sun was coming up, beaming light through your windows, you were sweating, almost as if you were there, and it was humid and hot. Um, but it was vividly a stark vision in your mind.
Was it like a volcanic?
No, I just think it's probably because it was underground, and underground tend to be a normal temperature all the time, right? It just seemed that because of all the energy that was being pulsed through this magical chant, whatever it was, has you sitting up and you have a sheen of sweat across your brow and your heart is like pumping. It takes you a minute to kind of gather yourself before you.
Lay off that fancy wine.
That's it, man. That wine, man. Maybe it's because it gave me gas or something. Indigestion. That's what it was. Indigestion. Nothing more. I'm fine.
I will see about ordering a hot bath.
Okay. As you guys all awaken in the morning at sunup, you can already hear the clanking of plates and the stomping of feet of the servants coming up and down, tending to rooms that might be getting vacated or cleaning, knocking on doors, letting you know that breakfast will be in about an hour if you so desire to come down for breakfast. At that point, Varys, you're able to order a hot bath. Although Zadkill's already in on the toilet, so he's taking one of them. You can hear him grunting and groaning in there. It will help. It would help if you took your armor off, Paladin, before you sat on the privy. However, the dream is definitely a little bit unsettling, but
yeah, I'm gonna be sharing that with at least the priest and the wizard.
Okay.
And the rest of the party too, probably.
All right.
Take a bath, clean up, strap on my blades, and put on some clean clothes and come down for breakfast.
All right. So by the time you guys get down to breakfast, it's about 7:00 or so. You could see that there are only patrons of the inn, as you realize that you guys get special breakfast served as patrons of the inn before the actual inn itself opens.
And then I'm gonna have a little chat with my party about my weird prophetic dream.
Okay.
And mention, well, I can't even go on a vacation and still have crap haunting me. I saw more of that robed figure. They were doing some kind of seance or ritual or something with some kind of weird globe. Sounds right up the mage's alley.
Can you describe the symbolism?
Yeah, can I draw it?
Unfortunately, you cannot make out any of the symbols. You know that they had some kind of jewelry or necklace, or at least some of them did, that you knew they had some kind of a necklace about their neck, but what it looked like, you don't know. The globe itself was extremely opaque, so you don't even know if there was anything inside it. You just know that the ritual or whatever it was that they were doing was trying to, it seemed to you that they were like focusing their voices at the globe and trying to break it or whatever it was. That's the feeling that you got of it. But unfortunately, you didn't get any good looks at any of their faces. They were all shrouded in shadow, and it's kind of like a dream where everything's a blur at the same time you're looking at it.
Well, it probably holds some kind of evil thing or something.
Nothing that we could have.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Our company from last night, is he here?
He is not. He is not here.
I got a feeling we're going to find him on a milk carton.
Probably. If I was looking in an alleyway, laying face down.
As the milkman arrives, oh, look at there.
There he
Somebody.
is.
There's somebody drawing a picture on the milk jug. If you see
It
Talisic.
sounded like we were being it sounded like we were being hustled, played for fools. You can pick your abstraction.
Eh,
It could have been, but it didn't seem
we
like
were being scoped out for sure.
if he was evil and playing up, then maybe the paladin would have caught on to something.
Yes, and since Monkey wasn't here, I didn't want to play into it. But Monkey, you detected no evil, and in fact, he was wearing all of the iconography of a paladin of Saint Cuthbert.
I thought I liked him for some reason.
Yep, and that's why he wanted to take you. That you were the real reason why he came over to the group, because he saw that there was another follower of the faith, and he wanted to come over and show his goodwill and welcome you to the city and offer to take you around and take you to the temple itself, because the city of Greyhawk has one of the largest temples dedicated to St. Cuthbert in the world. And so he thought you would want to check it out, come be in awe like he is of the ultimate righteous goodness of St. Cuthbert here in the Free City. So he was really excited. He seemed to you to be very excited, although he was a little bit on the inebriated side, so that didn't kind of go down well with you. But everybody has their flaws. But he just seemed very eager and excited to meet you guys this morning at breakfast, to kind of join with you and have breakfast with you, and then take you to see the sights about the city. So, but that being said, continue your discussion if you so desire, whatever you want to discuss.
Well, like I say, we continue our discussion over breakfast.
Yep. And so if you look at the breakfast, and I will post breakfast so everybody can see it. As you look, you see that they have various items depending upon how much you're wishing to spend. But for the commoners, they have little things like meat stick, roasted locusts, ham and cheese on rye. They have bacon eggs, bloodhawk eggs again, bacon stuffed bread. Oh, where was this when I was growing up? And if you want a little pricier stuff, they have, once again, the owlbear eggs, this time with bacon, as well as boar ham, steak and eggs, etc. So a little bit on the pricier side. But
Right on a stick must be for lunch then.
well, the meat on a stick. This is all this stuff that I'm showing you is all breakfast, and you can see.
What look like? Go ahead.
They have 3 different levels of meals that they serve, right? They have the commoner, which is the low price stuff, the merchant, which is your everyday average price, and then the noble, which is the little more pricey stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna get omelet my way with
I can't believe it.
With some juice.
Is this menu on a piece of paper somewhere, or is it on a board, or is it?
Well, they have it on a board for you guys to be able to take a look at.
I tell my companions, I can't believe this. We're in the biggest city in the world. They don't serve any breakfast tacos here.
So, I don't know if you can see them both. I did move them so they showed both, but they do have the non-alcoholic stuff. So, I put it. It's on the same list with the wine, so you can see they have coffee, good berry wine, fruit juices, and milk, not on a carton.
Oh,
straight from the teat.
Not in a cart. Yeah, you got to go out to the cow and suck right on the teat.
So I'm getting coffee and an omelet.
Okay, so you guys can see the prices. Please deduct accordingly. By the way, Zadkill, if you did not already see, you guys got a total of 12,000 gold each.
Oh.
So I know that as a paladin, you're only going to keep 1,200 of that and give the rest to the church. However, you do currently have 12,000 gold minus the price of the room, and then dinner last night, and then breakfast today. So
where is gold on our character sheet?
It's not on your sheet. There is one. There is under your gear. There should be, but for some reason I was not able to edit to put how much gold you had. So I'm not sure. I got to figure.
Okay.
I got to figure
I
out
know
how
what
that
you
works. I need to figure out how that works. But in the meantime, just jot it down on your personal character sheet somewhere that you have right now. You have 12,000 gold minus whatever you're paying for breakfast, and you spent a gold piece yesterday between the room and dinner and drinks.
Okay.
So just make sure you dock accordingly. So that being said, you guys order.
I paid for the rooms.
Oh, you paid for the rooms. That's right.
Yeah, I paid.
Okay, that's right. Zadkill.
Thank you, good sir.
I overpaid. For
Yeah,
the rooms.
Zadkill paid. Oh, that's right. Zadkill paid the gold piece to the kid as a
Yeah.
tip. As a tip, you paid the stable boy to maintain your warhorse. Superbly, you gave him a gold coin for a tip, and he was flabbergasted and babbling his thanks to you,
Yeah.
as he should have.
Indeedy.
Yep. So anyway, breakfast comes. The coffee is hot. The juices are freshly squeezed. The meals themselves you find to be really exquisite, actually. And like I said, it's the place doesn't open till 8:30 a.m. for locals. Other than it opens early for those that are rooming have room and board. So you guys, after about an hour or so, it's just before the place is due to open. You guys have finished. They've collected your stuff. You see Gruenab preparing, getting his lockbox of coin ready to start, taking orders from people and stuff like that, and taking their coin, I should say. What do you guys want to do? Because you've waited here, you've had breakfast. This Talisek fellow has not showed up, so what are your intents for the day? Because you really got nothing else.
My intent for the day is to talk to the waitress and find out if I can hire a guide to get me over to the magic users part of the city.
Oh, I'm
Isn't
sure.
there like, isn't there like a place called like the Gray something in Greyhawk?
There,
Gray
so
Meat Tower or something?
well, so in the city itself, yeah. So let me break some of that down for you guys. So in the city itself, in Clerksburg, which is College Town, you have the university, of course, right? Also known as Gray College, right? So that's sort of where the university is. You also have the where is it? The University of Magical Arts. So it's not necessarily the Wizards Guild, but it's literally the College of Magic, right? So they're right there with the other universities. Like they have Bard's College there, so they have a Bardic College. They've got regular Science College. Somebody wants to be an accountant. They got probably
I can assume I can buy supplies somewhere in that area.
more. Yeah, more than likely, over in Clerksburg would be the area that you would want to go if you were looking for magical supplies and whatnot, because the college is there. I think it's. Let me double check in the garden quarter. I want to look and see where the.
What Baron wants to do is he wants to hire a local,
Right.
okay, to act as a guide,
Okay.
to help him to get to where he needs to be,
Yeah.
and also, since he's going to be there with a local, then he doesn't look like he's going to be a mark.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So the lady is like, or the servant girl, she's like, oh sure. I imagine if you grab anyone off the street, they got the young boys running free about the city. Usually one of those you could probably grab to be your guide. Most of them know the.
Recommend.
What would I recommend? Oh, I'd recommend maybe asking directions from, say, the night watcher or the watchman or something like that. But if you're looking for a guide, um, to be honest, I don't know for someone that would anybody that knows the city can take you pretty much anywhere you're needing to be if you're looking how to get to a specific place. Ask pretty much anybody, so they give you directions. They probably give you streets to turn on, stuff of that nature. So, but again, if it were up to me, I would find one of the watchmen and say, "Hey, good sir, could you please direct me to whatever it is you're looking for?" But again, if some of these young lads that are running around, they're a little bit on the seedier side sometimes, so you've got to keep your wits about you.
That's why I'm asking you for a name.
Oh, I don't have a name of anybody that could escort you. Sorry.
She's lived here all her life, so probably knows all the ways again.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could tell you how to get to the river. I could tell you how to get to the college. I could tell you how to get to the university. I could tell you how to get to the library. I could tell you how to get to the old city. I could tell you how to get to the high quarter. Um, if you're looking for the guild hall of the wizards, I could tell you how to get there. Just get to the high quarter and ask the guards at the gate how to get there, and they could give you directions. Plus, you could see the thing big as day. But yes, um, my recommendation would be um, grab grab one of the watchmen and ask them, or even any one of the servers here could probably take you where he needs to be, but you'd have to wait till they're off their shift.
Hmm.
So,
Disappointed,
yep,
but um, but informed.
yep. So as you guys are discussing it with this lady, you hear this loud pounding um, at the door because, of course, the place isn't open. And you watch as Gruina, he just sort of yells, "Not open!" Once again, bang, 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 bang. Once again, Gruinab. Gruinab, by the way, is the giant. Not open! Then you hear a whistle, like a high pitched shrill whistle, and a banging on the door. And that gets his attention as he walks over, opening up the front door. And as he opens the door, you can see there is a patrol of watchmen standing at the door. And they talk to Gruinab for a minute or two, and he's grumbling at him. Is like, "Not open." Rah, 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 rah. And they kind of look around. Finally, he nods his head and allows the guards in. Um, Immediately, they look around. They sort of step all the way into the main chamber, looking around to see everybody that was sort of is sitting around here. And you guys are not alone, by the way. Although you're all your own little group over there in the corner, there are a half a dozen or so folks in here beside yourselves. And finally, the guards look and they sort of step to each person along the way and they sort of talk to them for a minute, eventually getting to you. And you could see this individual is probably a lower ranking official, has the markings of maybe I don't know, a watch captain or a team leader or whatever you want to call him. And so he sort of stops and nods. "Excuse me, good folk. I don't mean to interrupt your breakfast, but we're just making the rounds and we're seeking a bit of information about some folks what was here last night. So if you don't mind me asking your names, please." And he looks over to Baron first.
Baron Feldman.
Thank you, sir.
Here, I show him my key.
Okay. Oh, Yeah, I'm assuming all of you are staying here at the Whistling Fish. If I might, and he goes to each one of you first of all, asking your names, assuming you give your proper name. If not, let me.
Who's this?
Who is what?
Who's asking this?
The sergeant of the watch.
The guard that comes up to me.
We came in legally to your city, and now you're hassling us.
Oh no, no, sir. We are not hassling anybody. We are here to ask questions. So, if you will please excuse me and allow me to do my business, and then we can be on our way. So, if you would rather come
I would
to,
like to speak to your captain.
oh,
He knows his rights. He
Oh.
pays his salary.
oh,
I'm mad. I'm paying top gold here, and
all they've really done is ask your name, ask your business.
Yeah.
Bear, why did you gonna get shot?
I stated that at the
I'm
gate.
going to ask the guard to sit down across from me.
No, as he's standing there, legitimately,
I stated that at the gate already.
I
Well, he is
because
a rogue, so he is getting
because
I'm
because
getting mad and
so he goes, the reason that we ask the questions is our business, sir. We are all, if you wish to speak to my captain, then let's go talk to my captain. Guards, take them. And you watch as about a dozen or so guards come from the outside. Okay, as soon as you disappear, the whistle goes out, and immediately all of the pole arms are pointed at the rest of you, and he orders.
I dagger to the sergeant's throat and say, "You will release them all now."
No, I will not.
Then I kill him and I quit the game.
Can I have your ring?
Baron's got eyes like
No,
saucers
you
right now.
like
This
that.
is not how you expect
that
to
was
start
bullshit.
his day.
Yeah, I'm not doing this PS.
What?
All right.
No, I don't understand what the BS is. If there was an issue,
Yeah.
They-
yeah.
no, I'm asking what is the issue. I did not think there was an issue because the guards. What's that?
We already stated everything.
Okay, so okay, I get you. So let me ask you this: if you go into a city and you come in, they've got your name, they got your information,
Yeah.
and
anything wrong.
you haven't done anything wrong. They're not saying you've done anything wrong. They're coming in to ask questions.
Weapons and stuff at me.
No, he did not point any weapons until you disappeared. Until you said you wanted. Well, hang on. Hang on.
That wasn't necessary either.
Wait, he came in and he wanted to know your names. He wanted to know your business.
I asked to see the superior.
Okay, yeah, and he said if you wanted to see he wanted to see your superior. And again, for me, guards that are already agitated because something's going on, suddenly getting basically backtalked and badmouthed by somebody that they're just trying to get information from. Well, I'm just saying the way you come off is that I want to talk to your captain. Okay, fine. Let's go talk to our captain. Guards, let's go. And they come in. They weren't like pointing their weapons at you. Literally what they were going to do was escort you out to the wagon to take you to where his captain was. And then you disappeared. And as soon as you disappear, that's when they raise the alarm because now they need to know what's going on. So the first thing that they're going to do is make sure that nobody else is going to go and do whatever it was that they thought you were going to do. So I was not in any way, shape, or form trying to come stomping in here. What's that?
Baron's going to try to not look threatening.
I misunderstood you.
Right?
With the guards.
No, yeah. So the guards came in to escort you out, right? And again, that's the whole thing. You want to see his captain. that's
Yeah.
not a problem, right? Because if you want to know the game flow, technically, if things went sideways, you're going to see the captain anyway, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, the reason if we get through, right? First off, and the other point that I want to bring is you come into a city the size of Greyhawk and you put your name in the ledger, that's great. Figure the odds on any other guard in the entire planet knowing who you are or where you're from or how long you have been here, right? You could give it to the city for their roll calls. They do it for tax purposes or whatever. But when the guards come up, right, and want to know who you are or show some identification or whatever, it's just like modern day police. Yeah, you've got a DMV record. When they pull you over, they pull up your record. They know who you are, they should say who the car is, and they're still going to ask you for ID, what you're doing, what's going on. That's all he was trying to do. I was in no way trying to make it assume like they're coming in accusing you guys of anything. Again, he was just starting with, all right, your name's Baron. Baron, why are you here? You know, where were you last night at 2 a.m. or whatever the case may be, right? That's kind of the where things were going, right? So, yeah, I don't want you to get. Oh, me too, because I don't want you to get bent out of shape. I don't want you to get bent out of shape, man. If there's a game where you think that like, yeah, no, dude, I don't know what's up, but so
Baron is
Rickon.
he just looks at the guard. He says, "I'm here for my name is Baron Feldman. I am here to do some magical research."
Yep. And
Could you answer one of my? I was asleep in my room at 2 o'clock in the morning. Of course,
yep. So again, they didn't really get that far, right?
I also wizard locked my door.
Yeah. So, so unsolicited use of magic was it? No, just kidding. So again, he's the questions that he comes up is again, he wants to know who you are, right? Where are you from? You know, how long you've been in town? You know, what brings you here? And his next question sort of catches you because you're already suspicious, right? You already know that there's something going on because he's starting to ask all these little more pointed questions, like not just who we are, why we're here, where were we last night? Oh, we were here. Oh, so did any of you speak with a man by the name of Talisic Thraden?
I told you we were gonna see him on a milk carton.
I didn't really speak to him. I listened a lot.
And just
He came here and told us his crazy story.
I
And,
if you
also
don't,
he talked to our paladin friend.
as he looks over to Zadkiel and he's like, so another follower of the faith I see. Could you perhaps tell me what Lord Thraden might have been spewing from his, I'm assuming, alcohol-laced lips?
I look at the soldier and I kill him. No, I'm just kidding.
See what you did, Varys? You turned the paladin into an anti-paladin. You turned him into an anti-paladin.
I know my rights. I want to be your supervisor.
No, actually, I want to look. First of all, I want to see. Does he have any anything on his uniform that shows that he's my faith or anything like
No,
that?
yeah, he doesn't. They don't have anything that indicates that they're followers of Cuthbert at all.
Okay, so I go. Okay, what was the question?
The question is, what was he speaking about? If you can please enlighten me.
First, private conversations are one's own. Out of the respect of privacy, I can just tell you this. I am a paladin. Zadkiel, the righteous. You probably have heard of me in my many adventures with me and my men here. And I find it highly, because I'm starting to get pompous, because
Right.
I find it highly irregular to question a man of my culture. Not culture, what's the word I'm looking for? My station.
I do not question you, good sir. I only question what Lord Talisic may have been saying, because many people can tell you that his brain of late has been a little bit foggy. But
Well,
we're
then you can ask him what he has said.
well, if we were able to find him, then perhaps. Oh, so I tell you what.
What do you mean you can't find him?
As he looks around, he says, "Would you be so kind as to come speak to my deputy commissioner at the battle house? He has sent us here directly to investigate these happenings that have been spoken of by Lord Talisic. And so I am sure that what he spoke to each of you, whether it might be minor or major, would be of great benefit to the city and their search for whatever it is that this is allegedly being spoken of. So, if you would be so kind, I am sure that it will take no more than an hour of your time to get there, speak with Lord Morden, and then be on your way, and we can conclude this matter without any undue trouble."
Yeah, Baron will look at this gentleman, this guard that's talking, and he will place his hands in a non-threatening way.
Okay.
And stand up.
Okay.
Take me over to
take me to your leader.
Take me to your leader.
All right.
Trust us, we're from the government.
I go.
Yeah.
I tell him, well, I'm law-abiding. I will talk, but I be known this: I am like a faithful servant. So that which is discussed to me that I feel confidential, I will not reveal. You must ask a source for that knowledge. For I'm like a Catholic priest. I will not tell if wait.
Yes.
I'm like one that holds honor in one's word, and I don't like talking behind people's backs.
Look, man, I'm just trying to do my job.
I understand. Don't shoot the messenger.
And lead the table, hands go up. I'm looking at the.
Now I kill him.
Then I kill him, right?
My companions.
Yep.
So I'm just making a point with him.
So
I'm just making a point with him. I will do law abiding, whatever.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm a paladin,
Mhm.
and I'll do. But if it's something that I feel like is deceiving, I will
Yeah.
not
Oh, no,
answer
fine.
those questions.
Oh,
'Cause I don't
you're
know
fine.
What's going on? Because it's kind of like
You
they're
are.
investigating, and we talked to him, but I'm sure he talked to the bartender that he got his drinks from. So I'm kind of as a character, I'm kind of like curious.
As a character,
what's going on
Baron is
here?
very curious, but he's not.
Because
gonna do
I'm not
anything
used to
you want
being.
hear.
Well, and I'm a paladin. I'm above you all, so I'm feeling like a second-class citizen. Well, at least remember I was acting that way with the other when we were at the other thing. I felt like I was getting more like prestigious in that sense because that's kind of what he's feeling like now.
I have a question about the paladin's behavior.
Okay.
I have a question about the paladin's behavior.
Okay.
Because I am familiar with the fact that paladins are capable of detecting evil.
Yep.
Around them, and from what I know of Zazgul, he is the paladin. Okay. He is, he does not appear to be troubled by evil that is around him. He's just cranky.
Yeah.
No,
Correct.
I'm not being. Oh, am I being cranky? I'm sorry. No, I'm just like. I just find it suspicious. Like.
Yeah. No, that's understandable.
Because now, if something, because I'm trying to ascertain. Is there a criminal thing happening? Because I'm a paladin. I don't want to be involved with criminal stuff, and so it's like this is suspicious to me because I'm not used to it as a paladin.
No, totally fine, and it's totally understandable. Which is why this official is sort of half nodding and gesturing toward the door for you guys to join them to head back to the the citadel, if you will, or the blockhouse as they call it. So
I'll talk to
Yeah,
one of
that's
the
what
guys.
I was
If you
doing,
show me
right?
the way, I'll be more than happy to go.
Okay.
The paladin, yeah, in Baron's mind. Okay, he's assuming here, and it
Yep.
could be a big one. Okay, that if the paladin did not pull out a sword and start killing people, we don't have a problem with evil.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with evil.
No, I know. This is what Baron is thinking.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure that these guys are officials from the government.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I told him I'll go, but like I said, I stand by, like, you know, if it's something like that I feel like it's going to cause issues with his, I would say, like, his I mean, we all have flaws, but he's more of an honorable guy.
Yeah. All
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yep.
That's
All
kind
right.
of how I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna be honest with him, but if I feel like they're crossing the line, I will stop answering any details, like specific details. I'll just be generally.
Yeah.
Am I suspected of a crime? Am I being detained? Am I free to go?
Yep. All right. All right. So
Wait, is it because I'm black? Wait a minute.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's because he's an elf. Because you guys have an elf with you, that's why it all is. So
Yeah, I knew it was the elf. I knew it was the elf.
I disappear.
Those
y'all are on your own. Y'all are
Racist about the non-humans.
all right. Let's see if we can't get any further than we're getting ready to kill everybody in sight and run for the hills. The gate's right there. We can get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Let's go. Wipe them out and let's go. Football. All right. So
this is quality entertainment here.
Yes, this is where we come up with Shiza Cinema, because something always happens. So that being said, as you guys are escorted outside, you see that there is a large open back cart, and probably about a dozen or so guards, most of them bearing pole arms and or short swords at their hip, to escort you guys from the building into the cart. It draws attention from the crowd of folks to see this eclectic group of sellswords, if you will, being carted off by the soldiers as people are whispering and kind of pointing, wondering what the heck's going on. All right.
I'm in a parade. I'm waving. I'm in a...
What'd you say, Varys?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
No, you're good. Yeah, I just asked what'd you say.
They didn't take her weapons. Right?
They did not. In fact, they did not. Yeah, no, they did not try. And in fact, they actually gave you guys the opportunity to go get whatever you needed from your rooms prior to you departing. I should have said that.
Make sure I have my clothes and everything.
Yep. And you guys are then again put into the back of this cart and led away, and they begin getting on the main road as they go toward the center of the city. As you guys get to this first part of the city, you see that there's a large open air market, and it's probably right around 9-ish in the morning. The market itself is in full swing. The guards that are going ahead of you guys actually have to part the throng to allow you guys to get through, because this whole area known as Low Market is completely full. All these numbered buildings over here are literally small, tiny shops, almost like pop-up stores, but in this case, these are all the same all the time, but they're almost like pop-up stores because they're just little booths with a roof over them to provide some sort of a shop or some sort of a service or whatever. The market itself right here in the center is just awash with sellers walking up and down trying to sell things. You've got merchants pushing their carts trying to sell like fresh fish and hot peanuts and dates and all this stuff. As you go by the center of the Low Market, this large, huge oak tree catches your eye, Ronnie. And as you see it, the feeling of emotion that sort of comes over you, Ronnie, is almost like somebody ripped your most favorite tree in the world out of the ground and cut it up and made chairs out of it. You just get this, Ronnie just gets this really sad feeling. And as you guys go by, you see that this is apparently a hangman's tree, because you can see remnants of rope hanging over the big boughs, as well as where the ropes themselves had worn over the years. And there are little like placards with names on them sort of plastered around the base of the tree. And Ronnie, this tree just like I said, it just brings this super negative energy to you that almost makes you want to cry. And you have never been happier in your life than when you guys passed by that tree and it was in your rear view mirror, so to speak, because the energy of death that was giving off, that tree had to bear the burden of taking so many lives, really just kind of almost overwhelms your senses as you go by.
Well, Ronnie
I want
was,
to ask.
Oh, did he? Oh.
yeah, like 30 minutes ago.
Oh, I didn't even see him. My bad.
He posted in the Discord.
Oh, why did I not see that? Oh, because I'm looking in the loot and not that. Sorry.
Yeah,
All right.
but,
Oh, that's fine. But
I'm sad too.
yeah. Yep.
Being ill for-
How Barry's looking around at the guards and the rest of the people that are in this market, and he's wondering how they're reacting to the bear.
Actually, it's more of a circus type of an atmosphere, because there are other strange animals. You see, in the market itself, there are other like strange animals. You see what look to be some of the wild, almost like, I don't want to say a griffin, but people selling like griffin eggs and small cats like that are going to grow to be large cats like pumas and stuff like that, right? So it's actually kind of a normal thing, although seeing a fully grown bear is an unusual sight.
It's a slave market, basically, for animals.
Yeah,
And you don't like it.
yeah, exactly. Varys, as you are going through the market as well, you recognize the flashes of thieves' camp. Basically saying, "Take care, brother," as you're being led away to the big house.
Yeah.
But you realize that there is a presence of guild, or at least
Yeah.
lone wolves here in the city, which is something that you had been looking for. So you definitely know, at least in the market, it's probably a good place to go find it. But again, the wagon continues to lead you guys through the city. You pass by a lot of different places that you can kind of catch the names as you go by. What was that? Sorry, my bad. I closed my map and didn't look at what the where you guys were. Yeah. Anyway, so passing through the foreign quarter up into what is obviously Clerksburg, because as you guys get out of the low market, you start seeing off on the right hand side what looks to be more newer buildings, almost like college campus, because the clientele that you're seeing here, different from the low market where all the sales and all the people are. This area you could see youth walking back and forth with robes, carrying books, etc. So this area that you're coming into is what they call Clerksburg. And the first thing on the side, you can see there's this large tavern on the right-hand side called the Black Dragon Inn. As you guys are sort of moving through the city, off here you see this large triangular or trapezoidal type building, which you the guards tell you because they're kind of talking to you, but they're not talking to you. Just trying to get a feel for who you guys are and where you're at. But as they point out some of these different structures, this large pyramid-shaped structure is the University of Magical Arts. Back in the distance, you can see the arena, which is a literally what it is. It's like they have all kinds of things from fairs. Sometimes they have large open-air displays of magic and wonderment. Other times they have barbaric trials of fisticuffs, right? Almost like gladiator style, as they lead you guys through the city. Passing through Clerksburg on the right, 4 1/4 on your left, you're on what is known as the processional, you find out. The processional is the large main road running north and south through the city. And you guys find yourselves moving along until eventually you come to a dividing wall. So the city itself, in addition to having the walls around the outside, has 2 inner walls. This inner wall separates the little people from the big people. And as you get to this gate, the guards kind of stop for a second. They get the identification, and you pass through what is known as Garden Gate. Straight through Garden Gate is like walking from, I don't know, from slums to the most prosperous city you can imagine. This whole area on the other side is literally nothing but large, ornate, beautiful mansions and structures. Nothing's crammed together like the lower city on the other side of the wall. A lot of the like there's like no greenery for the most part. Like the whole city is all just sort of crammed on top of one another. But as soon as you guys come through the other side, you pass through the gate, and you, like I said, you see the fields and the rolling hills and whatnot, on how all this is laid out. First thing that you see on the right is what apparently is a theater of some kind. And off to the left over here, you see an opera house. So literally the first 2 things in are very large gathering points for the well-to-do and the wealthy and whatnot. There's also this inn right here as you guys pass by. Like right here, that is the Gold Dragon Inn. So obviously people around here like their dragons. As you move past the Royal Theater on the right, you guys enter into what is known as High Market. High Market is literally just like Low Market, but there's not all the clutter and whatnot. It's a little more open spaces. It's a little more well-to-do, much better clothing. The food appears to be fresher, of a higher quality, and obviously a much higher price. But as you guys continue along, you go right past the High Market, past a whole bunch of what look to be apartment houses or duplexes, if you will, is the lack of a better term. A couple individual houses, but mostly look to be probably well-to-do folks, but they're not like super rich or whatever. So what I liken it to be is like if they're visiting dignitaries, have sort of their own estates here. And eventually, after about an hour or so of you guys traveling, you finally arrive at the Citadel. Immediately, you guys are escorted out of your cart into the Citadel proper, and you are brought to the office of the chief constable. And as you get there, the guards stop. The individual who is the official who is escorting you speaks to a apparent secretary, for lack of a better term, or assistant. Nods his head and says, I am very sorry, but her lordship Derider Fanshin is not available to see you. However, Deputy Morden will be able to see you. So if you will please come with me, and they lead you from the constable office down the hall, maybe 50 feet or so, to the office of one Nestor Morden, the deputy constable for the Free City of Greyhawk. Now he is the like second in command, if you will, of the police force, or the Watchmen's Guild, if you will. And as you guys are brought into the office, it's rather opulent. Maybe a little overdone, but not too bad. A lot of dark colors in here as opposed to something bright and shiny, although there is a large window with the curtains pulled back. Still, the room itself gives it kind of a stuffy sort of a feeling. And you understand why when you see Nestor Morden, as he sort of stands up, and he's this really lanky, gangly kind of an individual. Has a thin mustache, a thin goatee, dark black hair that's has it oiled and like slicked back, like the greasers back in the day. He just has it slicked straight back. The clothing that he's wearing, he has a sort of this dark red shirt with black trousers, and he's got these black boots that comes up to his knees with a little puffiness right at the knee, and he's got this little half cape sort of hanging back, and he's sort of standing there looking down on you guys as you all are seated, and he's like 6'3", probably weighs 80 pounds, and he looks down on you and he goes, "Thank you, gentlemen, for agreeing to come see and speak with us about this matter." And as he starts to walk, you can see that he has a limp of some kind. It's not like a big limp, but he has this like a slight little limp, so he's sort of a half shuffle. And he's like, "Forgive me if I am asking questions that have already been asked. However, this matter is of utmost urgency. Can you please tell me how you came to meet Mr. Talisic Thraden, the warrior of Saint Cuthbert last night?"
I'm gonna go have a look. I'm gonna stare at the paladin. He's doing all the talking.
Okay.
Okay, I go, well, he came in stumbling and was a friendly chap and mentioned he was wanting to take me to visit the church and all its fine locations and its influences on the city here. As you know, St. Cuthbert is its mega church is located here in the city of Greyhawk, so I entertained
This is
the
true.
idea.
I see. So, was this all that you discussed? How long were you in conversation with Lord Talisic?
Well, I had to go pick up my sister from work and do some schoolwork, but when I came back, they were talking about. Uh, I don't know. I missed everything before that, so I don't know. I guess I would. You know what he said, so I guess I would be honest and setting out that parameter of what I said I would do as a character. Uh, so I would answer whatever questions as long as I felt there weren't. And by the way, I'm gonna detect evil while I'm there, just as a
Okay.
precaution.
So as you're detect, sorry, go ahead, Varys. What's up?
I'm just gonna, tell him, we arrived late last night. We went to the fish inn or whatever it's called.
The whistling fish.
Fish.
Yep.
Got rooms, had some food and drink. We saw him when we entered the place,
Mm-hmm.
and then he approached us
You see.
to talk to, our paladin friend Zadkiel.
I see.
Primarily, and he told us some odd stories about things going on here, and
You don't
wanted to
say.
show us around, and never showed up for breakfast.
Hmm.
And that's all we know.
So, uh, did he say why he spoke to you and not others? Is it because you are new, or was it strictly because you're a friend?
Because of the fellow man on the cloth, as he
Hmm.
points to the, you
Oh,
know.
Yeah, we are a brotherhood in a temple of uh,
I shared that we're, seasoned adventurers, and he
let's see.
seemed interested in that, but he mostly talked about wanting to chill, chill us around and share the
Did he
love.
say? Did he say where he was going to take you, or?
Yeah, to the church. Yeah,
I see. Hmm.
yeah.
And you did not? Did you go out after Lord Talasek left, or did you
Um,
remain at the inn?
um, actually, I thought I saw someone spying on us.
Spying on you.
Yeah, well, maybe more on him rather than us.
I
So I went
see.
out, took a look around. That individual disappeared, and I went back in with the men.
Hmm. Well, I
and in my defense, I was on the crapper most of the night.
so
I,
you
let them know
can
about
you
me.
can you describe this individual that you saw, because
Yeah,
I should let you know that Lord Talasek was severely beaten last night and he almost died were it not for his own
he
healing
was
abilities and the church.
he was very drunk. So I'm sorry to hear that he was
I was afraid
accosted.
something like this had happened.
Yeah, well, I almost tried to go find him,
Hmm.
but I didn't want to risk getting into trouble for doing something that I didn't know anything about.
So
So
what is so please describe for me this individual that you say
he
was
was
spying
he
on
was
you.
a he was a cloaked figure, so I didn't get a good look at him, but he was
Hmm.
sitting not horribly far away, couple couple chairs away. He bought a drink that he didn't really drink,
Hmm.
and
What
and
color were these robes then? What is he? Was there any distinguishing markings on his hands or the
he
clothing
was
himself, or?
not well. I couldn't get a really good look at him,
Hmm.
but place was pretty crowded last night.
So there was no
I won't.
distinguishing,
Yeah,
no
I won't. I
patterns
won't.
or anything on the cloak or the robes or whatever it
He
was this
was
individual.
he was wearing some kind of symbol like on a chain, but I couldn't get a good look at it.
Give me an intelligence check.
Yeah. Get back in the game here. Um, no whammy.
That was good.
Hey.
You know me.
um.
Damn it.
All right. Um. Well, let me see. All right. So, um, as you giving a description and you talk about wearing some kind of jewelry or whatever the case may be, you're not sure, but it's almost like there was a flash of recognition, like he recognizes a description that you're
Mm-hmm.
giving, but he looks and he just says, I will have my men look into it, but I'm sure it's probably nothing. We have strangers like that through our city all of the time. So if there is nothing else you can tell me, you are sure. He has nothing that he said, no place that nobody that he knew of or spoke of that was harassing him or anything of this nature. You are sure that he didn't speak of any of this.
I don't know if I recall him saying
Hmm.
He spoke to us and then he left.
Yes, yes, yes.
he,
Well, I can see that you
he
are not
was
going to be
very
any help.
drunk. He was very drunk. So
Yes, well,
I
that is his want, and so that is what makes this
yeah
most difficult because while he is
yeah
favored in the church, he tends to speak things bigger than his brain may comprehend. And so sometimes he gets himself and then the church, of course, in trouble. So I very much appreciate your coming here to speak with me today. We shall take all of this notes and we shall get to the bottom of this, I can assure you. But until then, please be safe. Please take care. And please enjoy your stay in our city. As he allows you guys to leave, although the wagon is parked and you guys are going to have to walk your way back.
Oh, that.
Well, I
as they let you outside.
Say thank you, sirs, and as they turn around, I kill them.
No, load up in the wagon and we'll just ride it out of here. We can drive it ourselves.
I'm gonna go hire hearings.
I don't know these people.
I'm sure there's a hearing.
Okay, so go ahead and actually, I'm not even going to say you have to roll. I'm looking for something here first.
Ooh, an encounter, city encounter.
No, where the heck is it?
I don't rob everybody on my way home.
No, I'm just.
What see some heck? Drunks. Hey, what are you guys looking at?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
You know?
So, there are carriages for hire here in the High Quarter and the Garden Quarter. The Garden Quarter is off over here. Obviously, the High Quarter is here. I do want to note that you can see that there is another huge trapezoidal building with this glowing ball of light, electricity sort of at its apex. That the guards sort of, as they see you kind of looking that direction, they indicate that that is the Guild of Wizardry. So just for some point of reference. And as you guys take a cart and you begin to head your way back, you get to back to the High Market. And Zadkiel, as you look off, you see this beautiful pond, like right here. But on the back side of the pond, you see this massive white stone building with a massive symbol of a hand holding a huge hammer over it, which is the symbol of St. Cuthbert, which means that this building over here is obviously the Temple of St. Cuthbert. And that is where we are going to end tonight's game.
Okay, where again? What number? I didn't see it.
G4. G4. You sunk my battleship! Yep, so that is where we're going to end tonight's game. A close call there. Almost lost a player and a character. Would have been no bueno. All right, so, but I'm glad everything worked out in the end, man. But that's what happens, man. That's why you got to talk things out to make sure everybody is aware of what's going on. But I do appreciate everybody hanging out with us as we cannot even come enjoy a vacation without getting ourselves.
I just wanted some entertainment.
Dude, man,
I
told you to go to the whorehouse, but no, you guys had to go. You had to go get something to eat first.
Well, you gotta have a full stomach.
Hey, man, you guys can bail on this anytime you want. I've told you. I present the opportunity. If you guys get sucked in, not my fault.
I have business with the hill.
Yeah, I know you do. So, but anyway, I appreciate folks that hung out with us tonight. In the meantime, players, apologize for the confusion and the little bit of uneasiness there, but I'm glad we were able to work through it. That's what it's all about, man. I want to have fun. I don't want to have anybody feel like there's something. Yep, I just want to make sure that I just want to make sure that the game is enjoyable, right? If you're not enjoying it, you need to speak up, and if that's what we need to do and change, then that's what we need to do, right? So I definitely don't want anybody to think that that I'm like any kind of railroading or any kind of stuff like that. But I was just trying to play the part of the guy that's like, hey, go get and talk to everybody at the tavern and find out what they know. And so that's what we were doing. So, but we will see you guys next Monday. There's nothing going on next Monday, right? Because I know that something's going to happen. I'm going to get shit on. So 23rd, nothing special. It's nobody's birthday.
So,
Your birthday's the 25th?
Yeah, so please send money, donations.
Yep.
My Amazon wish list.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
That's my mother's second birthday.
That's crazy.
Well,
All right, so we'll have to
the registered on October 25th.
That's crazy.
Oh, interesting.
Well, we need to figure something out that we can do for Varys then, right? So, I don't know. Give him like a dagger of times 10 backstabbing or something like that. We'll do that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure you would like that. But again, I appreciate you hanging.
Silence?
Yes, a mask of silence. Just shut up. No, I'm sorry. That's for Zadkill. That's for Zadkill. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. All right, man. We'll see you next weekend.
Okay, thank you very much for a lovely evening.
Hey, man, it was fun while it lasted. So, yeah, man, we will, let's see what we want to do now. All right, man, we'll see you.
All right.
Yep, I am going to raid somebody. I don't know who, but I'm just closing things down right now. But I appreciate everybody that hung out with us. See you later, Monkey. I appreciate everybody that hang out. I thought you were leaving. Thought that was you leaving.
No, I went on a bit.
Yep. So, yep, this is actually one of my most favorite adventures when it comes to the city itself. When it comes to city adventures, this is one of my most favorite. So it's actually a fun adventure. So if you guys hopefully will stick around to watch our players stumble through and figure out what the hell's going on.
I know my rights.
Hey man, I just think it's funny that you guys can't even go and have a vacation. You can't even have a vacation without screwing it up. I don't know, man. You guys are freaking crazy. You're killing me. So let's see who.
Rode in the town and get a freaking speeding ticket.
Yep. Who do we want to raid? So Darling's there and Magic RPG. Ooh, that's tough.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to bed because I turned into a pumpkin.
All right, dude. We will see you next time. Let's do Darling, just because she lurked with us earlier. Magic RPG is always really good too, but we'll go over to Darling. So anyway, so if you guys follow us, you know that we stream every Monday and every other Friday. So we're here next Monday. This coming Friday is our off Friday, so we're not. So like I said, we'll see you on the 23rd, and then whatever the Friday is after that, hopefully.
There's something big that's going on with the Grognards on that night. There's some sort of a game that they're putting on between 7 and 11.
Where's that?
The Grognard, James from the Grognard.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, I know who James is because.
There's he's taking invitations for a game.
Oh, okay.
Held on the 27th.
Oh, nice. I won't be there because I'll be gaming on the 27th. That's my Friday game. Yeah, so yeah, but it's kind of funny because James and oh my God, what's his name that does the podcast with him? We actually.
He's no longer there.
He's not.
No, they stopped doing the podcast, didn't they?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. I just know that. So I'm in Orlando. So we actually, when we started getting back into D&D, my son wanted to play, so I tried to get him into first edition. He wasn't feeling first edition. All his friends were fifth edition, so he went that route. But I was gaming with those guys for a while, and then they started up the Grognard stuff, and then we started having the annual tournaments, and I ran one of the tournaments, like the first or second year they had it. I was one of the DMs for the tournaments. I just haven't been with the Grognard guys for a while, because I ended up leaving like the whole first edition crew, doing fifth edition because I wanted a game, and that was all that was in my area. I wanted a game with my son, so we just started our own fifth edition game, and then that's why I started this game on Monday nights so that we could have first edition. And I could get my first edition fix. So, but yeah, I may have to may have to record it and kind of see. Hopefully it's being. I don't know. Are they streaming? I don't even know.
I think so. Yes.
Yep. So if they're streaming, I'll definitely try to follow on the side, just to kind of see.
And then the next day, I'm playing DBA Ancients.
Nice. Is that through Grognard's too? They got.
No,
oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I was gonna say because I know that they have the. Is it Gary Con or whatever they want to call it? I know that's coming up or something like that. But anyway, long story short, we will see you guys Monday, or next Monday, I should say, and then after that, it'll be our Friday game. So you know the rules, or you know the schedule. So every Monday, every other Friday, we will be here. Don't forget to check out some of the other Greyhawk aficionados like us on the Teams page. ! Socials. If you guys haven't already hit it, please do so. That'll tell you everything that you need to know about us, where to go. You can catch our Twitter, our Discord, our YouTube channel. If you want to do any merch or anything like that, we have that out there. And of course, the Greyhawk Creatives is the most important one. Go check those guys out. Give them a follow. Give them a like. Show them some love. Let them know where you found them from. Again, I want to thank the guys over at 2 Minute Tabletop Maps for giving me the map of the inn. No, it wasn't a custom. It was just a map that I went and purchased off their site, but it was something I really liked. And they got a lot of great maps. And it's kind of funny. A lot of their maps are for free or pay what you want. So they'll say, here's what we're hoping you'll pay, but you pay what you want. And they said, hey, man, here's the price of this. And I didn't even think twice. I bought it. So those guys are cool. And from what my understanding is, it's one of their only sources of income, and they're from like Australia or something like that. So they do some good stuff, man. So I encourage you to go check them out. 2 Minute Tabletop. You can hit their site and buy right off their site, and I encourage you guys to go check them out. So, and I also want to thank our advanced roleplay system guys. You are the ones that built the system that we are using to play our first edition. It's as close to AD&D as you're going to get, but it's technically based on Ostrich, so there's probably a little bit of differences, but not enough to notice in my opinion. So anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to bounce over to Darling Creepshow. If you guys haven't followed Darling, you don't know what you're missing, man. She's got a lot of good stuff going on. I'm going to see if I actually get brought over there tonight. The last 2 or 3 times that I've rated somebody, it sent everybody else, and it left me sitting here looking at my stream. I'm like, what the hell? I've already looked at my stream for the past 3 hours. I don't want to look at my stream anymore. So, but we're gonna bounce over there. It looks like everybody signed up to go. Please give her some love if you haven't already. So we'll see you guys next Monday. And remember, in a world you can be in, yes sir, in a world you can be anything you want. All we ask is that you be kind. See you next time. And of course I didn't get over there.
Yeah. You know it's gonna be a running joke now.
Yep.
I'm gonna kill everything.
What's up, DM Sean? DM Sean into his house. I got problems. He's showing out for a Agora quest.
But I think you handled that well.
Thank you so much for the raid. Hello, raiders. We're still working on this fucking dragon.
I'm being
serious.
My eyes
I didn't know what the hell was going